StreamYards, he can. I forget how long they hold them for, but you could download the streams. But
7 days. It's only 7 days.
So
So for everyone who's just now realizing that we're over here on Red Valkyrie, we were all streaming with Dan and chilling and enjoying life. And for absolutely no damn reason, Dan just got his channel nuked. He didn't just get his video struck, his channel is gone. So he's currently scrambling, trying to appeal it. They're trying to say it was multiple violations of sexual content or nudity. None of us are buying that shit for even half a second.
No, that's more shit.
Not
super
at
pissed.
all.
So I sent Dan the link. I know that he's currently scrambling to try and figure out what the hell just happened, but we're gonna stream here and we're gonna bullshit for a little bit because what the fuck, man?
That's unreal. I'm blown away. I'm blown away.
I'm so angry. Like,
I know.
it takes a lot to piss me off, but damn it if this didn't do
Right?
it.
I haven't gotten to
First
say
time
hi to
Dan
him or you guys in a while. I get on and then he gets struck down and
Fraga don't do nothing. He's moderate as shit.
yeah, seriously.
Shay, have you posted a tweet
I'm
on
doing it
your
right now.
Twitter yet?
I was in the waiting room waiting to get in, and this was actually going to be my first stream on Dan's show, and straight canceled before I even got on.
Yeah, same, man.
Shit, dude.
I
I'm
was
so sorry.
insane. No, it's no big deal. I want his channel to be back. I don't understand why that was a violation
Yeah.
at all.
That is the most,
Somebody didn't like what he was saying and they targeted him.
Yeah.
that's the
Oh,
most
yeah, that's
insane.
usually the answer. Or they just don't like him.
It could be. I
how?
don't know if Dan has that many people that don't like him for somebody to target him like that, but he definitely.
You wouldn't think.
So here's the fun thing. This is the world that we now live in. You can't talk about specific subjects. If you talk about specific subjects with a certain narrative, it gets you banned. When everything started with the world that we currently live in, thanks to an illness, because I'm not going to say anything since they're trigger happy tonight. Anytime you said anything related to that specific name, to the P word that ends in emic, any of that, it was dropping streams like crazy. We had one person got dropped because we were talking about his book and he mentioned Barnes and Noble.
What?
I got taken down for it midstream.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
I don't even like my brain.
I don't. We were.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
He said something about BNN, and the next thing I know, I have 500 DMs saying, "By the way, you're down." And I was like, what just happened? Like, why? Why would that happen? So
weird.
We're all super pissed.
Let me know when you make that tweet and I'll retweet it. Go ahead.
Yeah, my freaking Twitter just refreshed.
Yeah, Samir. Back up your channels, folks.
Right?
While I'm on mine.
In as many places as you can manage. One backup is never quite enough.
Thankfully,
It's literally as soon as he started inviting us in, within I think 5 minutes, if less, his channel was pulled down.
It is interesting that the last thing he said before everything went to shit was Haley Berry.
That's the craziest thing ever.
Well, he did play that clip before he brought Shay in.
Yeah,
you're allowed to though. You're
here's the thing.
Yeah, but if somebody if somebody flags that, and the
what
algorithm
prude is flagging that? It is the body, and it's a covered body.
Yeah, it's not. They don't even have to be offended by it. If they just want to fuck with him, all they got to do is flag that, and and mark that timestamp, and like the AI is just going to see a bunch of skin.
Yeah,
we will not settle down, Andino. This needs to be talked about,
man.
It's the same damn people who see a man look at a woman and go, "That's creepy." How the fuck did everything become creepy?
I don't know.
When the fuck did everybody become a goddamn Puritan again?
And then how does Andino have? I'm disappointed
Andino
saying what he just said. I mean, about it's not that only that Dan's channel got pulled down.
There he is.
Or his video got pulled down. His whole entire channel.
It didn't copy the entire link.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat. That's why I DM'd you.
Thanks, bro.
Absolutely, brother.
This is insanity. So the thing that pisses me off the most about this is he played the clip to invite in a woman, and some fucking soy asshole out there was like, I'm offended. And like, now we're struck.
Yep.
I'm sitting here going, that's a nice booty. I should probably do some more squats. Right? Like, come on.
Like, smack.
What the hell?
I wasn't lying when I said Latinos have the best AAT there. They really do. My ex-wife is Mexican, so.
Sweet Jesus.
What?
Good Lord! Like, are they running a platform here? Or are they just like, what are they doing? Like, are they going to get rid of everybody that doesn't toe a certain party line?
Yeah, they're going to try to.
Well, then they're going to build their own competition, because you keep pulling this shit. People are going to go somewhere else and they're going to build something else that will take you out. This is how dinosaurs die.
No, that's the problem, right?
I guess there's not as many people, obviously, but I hear there's less chances of getting struck there.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's BitChute.
BitChute.
Oh, BitChute. Yeah.
But that's the problem with now.
I don't know how well that is. I can't make an account because I can't see these stupid things to make. It's very unnerving.
Well, BitChute is ran by the British Empire's personal. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to, but BitChute is ran by British. It's ran by the British.
Do not get me struck, please.
Exactly.
Really hard.
So it's like I figure out how to say what I want.
We have nowhere else to go.
I mean, we can go to my channel.
Dark. And then we'll all sit here and we'll be like, I don't want to say anything. We'll just sit here and stare at each other and be like, well, I'm upset, but I don't want to say anything.
Like, I might have one subscriber, maybe.
I'll just start making stuff. Oh, are you doing another one?
Jason,
this is for Will.
Yes!
That's great.
This one's for Will.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Dude, I cannot wait.
Cool.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I got plans for yours, Luke. So
I'm just saying.
Hell yeah, dude.
I cosplayed her tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm digging her.
That was a fun show.
Nice.
That was a fun show to watch.
It was a fun show to do. I suck at D&D, apparently. All I can roll when I'm on camera is a bunch of fucking ones. I was like, I got a gun. It's going to be amazing.
Welcome to D&D.
Yeah, I was about to say, welcome to D&D.
No.
The dice always fucking hate you.
So I play tabletop RPGs all the fucking time. I'm the dumb one that sits here without trying and just rolls crit 20s over and over and over again. The second we do it digitally,
Until somebody's
all
looking.
I get are ones.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
Pixar, it didn't happen. Anyway, look what came in the mail for me today. Some awesome person sent me a whole bunch of Gear Station, and I was gonna bust these out once we got to a certain point.
A little bit.
Fuck
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Thank you so very much, Shay. I
Hell
cannot
yeah,
wait to
I'm
jump
happy they
into
all
these.
got there, dude.
Oh yeah, got here in perfect condition.
Yeah.
Like, will you guys look at this Art Adams cover? Like, holy shit!
Mm.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
just the ridiculous detail in the background back there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god, all those characters.
By the way,
Art Adams, man.
I binge read that shit. If you have not read Gear Station, holy shit, go read it. It's so much fun. Hi, Will. How are you?
What the fuck is going on?
Will.
So much
Dan
shit.
showed ass titty and got his entire channel struck.
He showed ass titty, and then somebody got ass shitty. So
Yeah, but they have pedophiles on YouTube. I don't get it.
Thank you.
fucking
We got
God, Will.
to shoot straight down their shirt 24/7.
Fucking minute, and I come back to kind of see what he's talking about, and it says gone. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Mm.
Oh yeah, they didn't. That's the thing. They didn't just. So for everyone in the chat, and I'm sorry I've been ignoring you, but for everyone in the chat who doesn't know, they didn't just strike his video. They took his channel.
Yeah.
They're currently fighting to get his channel back.
And I don't think he's ever been struck before. Ever.
No.
They had to have machine gunned him.
Bam.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then the problem is, like, right now with the way YouTube is, you don't know if it was just YouTube being YouTube or if it was somebody, if it was somebody who, like, sat there and like 5 of them just sat there and reported them all in a row.
Yeah.
You know, people are getting purged this week, and I'm like, well, you know, comics get kind of low down the totem pole in terms of purges, but I'm like, are they really going down that deep?
Apparently, I don't, and so I don't know if that's why he got struck, or if it was simply because he was showing ass titty, or if it's because he had a particular opinion that he expressed about what was currently going on in the news with a specific actress that I'm not going to name. I feel like I can't say anything on my own fucking channel.
Brittany Venti shows more than he was showing in those previews.
Yeah. Oh, yes,
you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Like, I don't get it. Like, it had to have been some kind of Gammaberg and.
Well, you got to testify in the stream right now.
Yeah.
Bad week for EVS Simps. Wah ha ha.
It wasn't my fault, William.
Test. Come on, man.
Yeah, however you feel, man.
I like when sociopaths laugh at people's livelihood being taken away from them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who's giggling?
Testify.
Testify.
Billy, the reason that Fraga isn't here is he's currently fighting to try and figure out what happened to his channel to get it back. I sent him the link, and yeah. Hold on one sec.
Petty pricks pull petty shit.
That's insane, dude.
That's all I'm saying.
That's what that was.
Petty bitch.
You didn't have
admittedly, I never heard about YouTube's board of censorship SJWs ever being disbanded. So.
It's a
this channel was also taken down.
Like I said, that was really odd. I stepped away. Like
it was. There was nothing that you would have expected would tag anybody.
Literally nothing. There is
literally nothing.
There is nude all over YouTube. And
like at this point, it's just as likely that somebody just really, really fucking hates bacon.
Oh, fucking! Of course.
Nice. You never know.
How can you hate bacon?
Malin. I blame Malin.
Oh, well, you always have to blame Malin. At the end of the day, it's his fault.
So basically, 3 people essentially struck him at once.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. It seemed like everybody kind of.
Yeah, it seems like there was just it has to be it. I can't see the AI ripping down the channel off of one offense.
Well, but that's the thing. So, as far as the AI is considered, if it got flagged,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Then yeah, and that could be 5 people flagging once, and that could be all that it took.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. It had to be provoked, is what I'm saying. That's my assumption. I'm assuming it was provoked.
Well, let's be honest. It's not like there isn't somebody here who is not exactly friendly.
You mean in a chat?
I'm not saying nothing. I don't know nobody, but there's more than like 3 or 5 war campaigners. I don't know.
I'm not. I know people in War Campaign that I haven't had any issues with. I know people in CG that I have. Like,
that's just why I said I don't know. I
get what you're saying. So what I'm gonna say, and what I'm gonna say very publicly right now is, when it comes to Rev Valkyrie, I don't give a fuck if you're CG, if you're War Campaign, if you're neither. I don't care. What I care about is, are you a decent human being? Do you deliver a good product? Do you give a fuck about your customers? If those 3 things are true, you can come on my platform, provided that I think that your book is good enough, because I'm also not going to shill shit that I don't think is up to snuff.
What about one of those 3?
Word.
And the thing is I've got friends who've never even heard of Comicsgate, who are phenomenal human beings that I'm more than happy to have on here. I have friends that are in War Campaign who are phenomenal human beings that I'm happy to have on here. But the second you start acting like a shitty asshole, I'm done. And that is exactly how that goes. That's when I start cutting people off. And it's my channel. You don't like it, you don't have to be here. It's very simple.
So can you guys educate me on who AAT is?
AAT.
SS Titty.
Oh. Okay.
It's your boss's motto. Come on, man.
I don't know.
It's the rhyme that was made famous by
my official Comicsgate pledge.
There's so many assholes running around with their stupid acronyms and fucking bullshit that I lose track.
I'm
AAT. You know.
I wish that's how it happened, Andino, but I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, I like
I
what
don't
Will's saying.
understand.
He's just talking about how the world is upside down, and then this shit happens.
There was a lot of purges this week, so that creeped me out when Dan went.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna play with fire and see what happens. I'm so close. Come on, don't fucking over.
I guess the interesting thing will be to see if any other big Comicsgate streams suddenly get nuked.
I mean, I'm sure they've done it to EVS.
Well,
here's
the thing, though.
I mean, like following Dan's, if he's isolated or if it's a pattern.
How many subscribers does Dan have?
4,700.
So he doesn't
something like that. 4,800.
So he doesn't have
or 5,700. Sorry.
He doesn't have an actual. Like, I think you need 100,000. You get an actual person
for a YouTube rep.
Yeah.
It was too new. He wasn't to that point yet.
Well, he's had his channel for almost 10 years. It's just his subscribers.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing anything with it, and just recently, like last year.
Yeah,
like last October. Yeah.
His account is literally almost 10 years old, if not 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, he's got that going for him too. You know what I mean? Like, if he's got a 10-year-old account with no problems, that should help him out.
Only if you actually talk to somebody, though.
Yeah.
If he just runs through the automated crap, he's got nothing.
There's got to be some way you can escalate it up the chain of command, though. Like, there's always got to be somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Working tech support, just
even a lot of bigger YouTube people in the past have said, I spent months and I never got to talk to anybody.
Really?
Yeah.
It's happened.
Whoa. Well, look at Sinatra Says.
I think Sargon had a few troubles with that, where he could just never get a hold of anybody.
No, they don't care.
Sinatra Says has been demonetized for like 5 years now, and they won't tell him why, and they won't let him back in, and they still have all his money.
I am really impressed Sinatra Says is still going. Good on him.
This week they got both Stefan Molyneux's Twitter and his YouTube.
Yeah, Dave. So in the same day that Stefan got canceled, there was about 10 to 20 other YouTube accounts that got canceled at the same time.
Michael Jones as well was another big one that they took out. So yeah, it's been a crazy week.
That's unreal, dude.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's frustrating. It's frustrating as hell, especially because out of everybody that you could possibly.
Oh, Gavin McGinnis took off too. Yeah, they took him too.
Like, I just don't get it, dude. I really don't. Well, so how is everybody's Tuesday besides this bullshit? I'm cracking into my second fucking.
I was just gonna say
fucking Christ.
The additional aggravation is like Fraga has to be the friendliest of all of us.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was getting.
By a long shot.
He is the bridge builder.
Yeah,
unless you try to burn that bridge down. He wants to build bridges between people. He wants to show people that we can all do this and have fun.
Yeah, of anybody to nuke, why him?
Well, he did threaten that tall, skinny guy, whatever that guy's name was.
He didn't threaten him. He said make memes about him and make a video.
Right. Sorry, you're probably right. I thought I heard him call him a punk ass bitch and shit. So
yeah. So even that's not enough.
Yeah, he called him a bitch ass, but he also complimented him.
That's not enough to cancel an entire channel.
No, I agree. So I totally agree.
And it's Eric Larson. I don't think anybody at YouTube is a big enough fan of Eric Larson to nuke somebody.
Dude.
No, I don't think it was Eric Larson.
Dark
it was
Lord, you're making
someone
me
else.
You're making me so sad with this. Can you not tell me all of the obvious?
Well, we are 7 months in, not 6 months in, so it's not obvious.
I can't even hear Dark Lord, so.
Wow.
I'm blown away, dude. Like, Dan is one of my favorite dudes. Like,
Same.
He's the nicest guy.
Oh, no. Okay.
Are you getting hit with a strike?
Somebody asked me a question. They go, "Did your stream go as well?" And I was like, "You can't say that shit to me." No, we're good.
No, listen, I got the secondary monitor. I'm watching this shit. I'm making sure it ain't happening again.
I'm currently trying to download what I can from my fucking channel just in case.
Hey, you got to do a V-Live account as well.
Jokes can hurt people.
Yeah.
Well, I can see your channel still here. I have it up on my phone.
Yeah. I'm still alive so far.
Still alive so far. So, do you think it was an actual key word, or it was just images? You know,
it was what Shay said. It was multiple people at once flagging his channel.
Probably, and in all honesty, I honestly think that it didn't have to do with the SS titty bumper. I don't think that's what did it. I have a very strong suspicion it had to do with the particular news article that he went on a rant about. Because when you talk about the kind of things that get you struck, it isn't instantaneous. Like, you don't get reported, and immediately struck. You get reported, put into a system, into a queue that goes through a bot. The bot goes back through, and if it hears or picks up on a few key instances or key moments of nudity or whatever, then it strikes you. So it always takes a couple of minutes from whatever the event was that is reported on. So he had just moved on from all of that, started bringing everybody in, and then we all get struck.
So when he started talking about transgenderism, he was screwed.
Yes, so don't talk about that here.
He started talking about, I'm going to go take a shit or something, and then I come back and, shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Wow.
No! Just got an email that my membership to Couch Doodles was paused.
Yeah, mine was too.
Yeah. Hey!
Whoa.
Hello.
Hey, Fraga. There he is.
Hey, Fraga.
How are you? Hey, man.
Okay,
We just talked about this afternoon, man. What are you fucking up?
That's a lot of people talking at once.
I can't even hear.
Hold up, I'm gonna reshuffle. Dan needs to be on the top, man.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good down here.
Sure? Okay.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. That was some crazy shit. Somebody bounced out. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Jason, no.
I didn't do
Jason,
that.
come
That
back.
wasn't me.
Where'd
Yeah.
he go?
Oh, that poor dude.
So I was
telling me.
just dealing with several YouTube emails. One of them was very fucking terse. Yeah. What did it say? Let me.
I actually felt really guilty about it, Dan, after I saw it. So I was like egging you on.
Nah.
It wasn't. And I'm like, shit, if you take my advice, it's my fault.
Here, I will read this verbatim. We'd like to inform you that due to repeated or severe violations of our community guidelines,
Wow.
your YouTube account, Couch Doodles, has been suspended. After review, we determined that activity in your account violated our community guidelines, which states that sexually explicit content is not acceptable on our site. Please be aware that you are prohibited from accessing, processing, or creating any other YouTube accounts.
Oh.
For more information about account termination and how our community guidelines are enforced, please visit our help center. If you'd like to appeal the suspension, please submit this form. So, of course, I submitted the form. There was nothing going on there crazy. No. You guys were there. There was nothing crazy going on. Some ass titty, but it was all clothed. Maybe the offensive one was the one in the heart.
That was some TV commercial grade ass.
Yeah, if there was the one in the heart, there was no nipple involved.
Right.
At all. But you know, it's the very, very first time I have to say this. I've never really gone hard on my channel before, and I felt like today's the day. And they're like, nah.
I'm proud of you. I was like, oh, Dan's hitting a stride. Great. I'm gonna leave from you.
Yeah. How are you, Will?
I'm kind of, like I said, I felt really guilty about it, actually.
Don't feel guilty, man. Don't feel guilty.
Remember we were early in the afternoon, I was really like, Dan, you got to do that. And then you go and do it. And I'm like, yeah, Dan. And then, oh, shit, it's my fault.
It's not your fault, man. It's not your fault.
Always
for a minute.
Nah, it is what it is. And here's the thing, man. I just literally did a stream about, like not letting things get you into the suck.
Right. Man, that is just like the universe, though, right? You're like, I'm going to be good. And the universe is like, oh, yeah? Are you sure?
Let's start from fucking zero, bro.
Exactly.
Skull. Let's do it. Let's start from zero.
Lock It Up has a really good point. Should we flag Nicki Minaj music videos?
Right.
And that was about the equivalent.
I was on the stream the other
Although
day.
that could be its own separate conversation.
I was talking about on the stream the other day. There's literally nude yoga and other things where people are completely and utterly naked. So to assume they can flag your channel for what Dan did is out of this world. Out of this world, dude. Out of this world.
Twister wants to know, was it a suspension or a termination?
That's suspension.
Okay. So you can come back
Yeah.
from suspension.
Right.
It's a bitch, and you might not be able to stream for a couple of months.
Months.
Oh.
That's okay. I got comics to draw, yo. I'll just show up on other motherfuckers.
I was gonna say, you got comics to draw. Well, I'll just start doing children.
You know what? I have another channel. I do have another channel.
Yes, you do.
And it's called Fraga Boom.
There you go.
I think it's got 6 followers.
So it's gonna have a lot more.
Hold up, let me go find it.
And I'll just build it from there. I'll just fucking build it.
Nice.
Shit, does that mean that I need to start putting all my videos?
What do you got, Jason? What is that?
You designed that one, Dan, didn't you?
I did. I designed that cover.
Nice.
And signed, and then also a certificate with his thumbprint.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn.
I remember those.
Nice.
I remember those.
San Diego Comic-Con, I was there.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
I got
awesome.
I got a lot of signed books. I showed Shay a couple.
I just got some She stuff recently that I picked up from my local comic book shop that was signed. Not by Tucci, but still signed.
I got that. What's She?
So, since you weren't here when I showed these earlier, look what came in the mail for me today.
Nice.
Man.
Those are some things of beauty. You got to read them all.
Yeah, man. I am super excited.
Read all of them. Read all of them.
Valkyrie there.
I just went through them for Bible study.
Biblioteca.
I got my Cyber Frog Vampirella covers today.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's that look?
Sorry, guys.
Whoa.
My internet hates me sometimes.
Switch it over.
It was
Nice.
literally the second I went to try and click on you, Luke. Everything was like, "Oh, move closer to your router." I'm like, it's fine.
Technology at its best.
Dude, tonight is.
I thought someone else cut out again. I wasn't hearing everybody for a while.
No, that's just my really shitty fucking.
Man, I'm so angry. Like all I can think about is
No, this is the one. This is one here. It's called Fraga Boom, and it has no subscribers.
Okay, hold on.
All right, what is it?
We'll find you.
Exclamation point.
Yeah,
Boom,
what's the actual thing?
There's another. How do I find that?
Because I type in Fragaboom and there's it's a chubbier kid with 45 subscribers. And 5
Yeah, it just comes massive.
I don't think that's you.
He looks
Maybe
like
what I'll do, you know what? It's not going to be now, but I'm going to go into my my settings and then I'll put it out and I'll just start posting videos there.
Yeah,
You don't have mercy.
I'm seeing the same chubby kid.
You don't want to post a link tonight? You don't want to post a link tonight of that channel?
I don't even know. I'm gonna. Well, here I'm gonna turn my camera off because you're gonna just see me like this.
All right.
Hold on a second.
Because that never happens.
No.
I love the.
I found the chubby kid too.
Chubby kid.
Yeah.
I almost want to subscribe to him now.
I know. I kind of want to just shoot him with some, like the kid's got 573 videos.
Bombard him with AT, AAT. He's like, what the fuck is going on?
He's
AAT.
got all of that, and he only has 45 subs. Like I just don't want to talk to him out of pity.
All right,
That'll
I'm
be
checking
funny,
him
though.
out.
Like, all these people were just coming to my channel and saying AAT in the comments.
Look at that go.
That
I
would
don't
be
want
hilarious.
chubby kid. Justice for Frika.
He kind of reminds me of that meme of that that chubby kid that's got the tipping the fedora, like it's like an atheist meme or something. Have you seen that one?
Pity sub. Oh my gosh.
He talks a lot about bullying.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, you did not just milady in my chat. We don't milady around here, damn it. I have a friend who found out how much I hated that, and every day he saw me.
Well, now I'm going to do it every time I see you.
You know what? Well, go ahead, because...
Is he a musician? He might be a musician. He's got a SoundCloud.
What were you saying, Dan?
I just posted it in the private.
Okay, so...
I'm on it.
Hold on. I'm on those.
Nice.
Bam. There you go. Eat it up, y'all.
All right, everybody start subscribing, yo.
Everybody sub to Dan on his backup
Got it.
channel.
Mm.
Do that shit.
I'm
You got
gonna
3 subs.
Available.
Where there's a
God,
will, there's
I
a
could only
way.
laugh at this shit. I really could only laugh at this shit.
Oh my
What else you gonna
God.
do, right?
Right.
You know what's funny is that other channel started in 2006, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until October of this past year that I was like, I think I'm gonna do something with it, and I had like 500 subscribers. Got it up to 4.6 thousand. It is what it is, man. You know what? I ran that. I've ran that fucking trail. Let's do it again.
Right?
It's like an old
Nice.
school arcade
Built to
game.
be
You
built
hit a
again.
certain point and you got to wrap around to start at level 1 again.
That's right. Do it again.
New Game Plus, as we call it.
39
Dude,
I don't know. I talked a lot of shit on that past stream, so
You didn't
Subscribe.
You didn't say anything more than the other person would.
That's true, Jay. That's true.
Seriously.
Bro, I don't even. And then there's things I could say, but I'm not on Oz's screen.
She's like,
shit.
don't string Shay.
Yeah, exactly.
The shit you
Look, and that's the funny thing is watch. I will get to 990 subs, and then I'll get taken down.
And then I'm gonna
like,
drink
No way.
you motherfuckers.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be the one that does it.
You know what? You know what? Well, I'll just put you backstage. You can just sit back.
Don't sound so excited.
See,
hold up.
why isn't everybody over there right now getting crazy?
Nice.
Love
Nice.
it.
Doing some hammer art while you guys are
That's
talking.
awesome.
Hell yes. Oh
So
my
I
gosh. I gotta figure out how to do that for tomorrow. It's gonna.
I want to point out that Krager said this is his first time on Dan's stream, so this is the first time Hammer has hit Fraga up on his stream through Stan.
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of a weird thing, isn't it?
The heathen gods hexed you.
I'm the constant. Yeah, probably. I probably should quit while I'm behind. So
Not at all, man. You are one talented motherfucker, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
that's awesome.
dude.
Book looks
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
looking forward to it.
I thank you all. I know some of you have actually backed the campaign, so I really appreciate it. I'm so indebted to you guys. So, and I on top of, I actually have a bunch of like secret perks that I'm throwing into stuff for everybody. So it doesn't apply to like having to email me or anything else. Like I was talking to Joe Weems, and I don't know if you guys know who Joe Weems is. He's an anchor. Anyways, he hit me up. I've been friends with Joe since the Harris days, and he hit me up wanting to do a Loki piece for me. So we've been friends for years. I think the last thing he had worked on was the Dale Keown Sentinel stuff that was really slickly inked. Have you ever seen any of Dale Keown's like Eternals, Celestial Giant? No, that stuff's amazing. You guys remember Pitt? Yeah, Dale Keown, man. That guy's the man. Anyways, I think that was the last thing Joe had worked on. And he was doing some other stuff, and he liked it, and he hit me up, and he's an excellent artist, and I consider him one of the best inkers in the whole world. Like, this kid can ink as good as Scott Williams, and always has been able to. He's that good. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. I'm really excited about it. So I'm hoping to fund. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to be optimistic. So, and that's the kind of best I can do, is try to be optimistic.
What's the campaign?
It's Hammer, a Ragnarok tale. I'll post this. Let me post it in the chat. Hold on. In the private chat. I'll see if I can do this.
Yeah, I mean, if you could hit up streams and stuff, I recommend it. I've been trying. It's hard because some people you can't DM on Twitter like Malin and stuff like that. I've been trying to get a hold of them. But you're, I think your campaign's going to do great, man.
Yeah, got off to a slow start, but I think it's going to be fine too. It's over 1,100. Did it go up today?
He bounced out.
Where was it before? Did anyone know where it was before Dan's show?
I think it was under that.
See what happens? See what happens? I touch stuff.
The gods of the internet are pissed.
Yeah, man.
I can
on
hear everyone
Indiegogo.
Jay, so
Yeah. The link's been scrolling up through the chat.
Has it? Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I know how to draw. I know how to sculpt. I know how to do production on comic books. I've been in the industry forever. I never got the feet to really do it on my own until recently. Maybe it's because I'm getting old.
No, I hear you, man. It's my first campaign too, so it's nerve-wracking.
It
really is.
It is. I really like your stuff, Jason. It really reminds me of Ted McKeever, and I love Ted McKeever. That guy.
Thanks, man.
And do you remember Al Columbia, the guy who he was Bill Sankovich's ink assistant back in the day, and
I like Bill Sankovich.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah.
You ever hear of Big Numbers?
Yeah.
Done by.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the third or fourth issue of Big Numbers was supposed to be done by a guy named Al Columbia. Al Columbia was the protege of Bill Sankovich. And he worked the whole issue out. Bill had bowed out because maybe he felt the scripts were too heavy. I heard that the scripts were 100-page scripts for single 40-page issues. And yeah, Alan Moore was killing it. And Sankovich couldn't do it for some reason or another. And so Al Columbia picked it up, and he did one issue. And I heard that he had completed the issue, and the editor at the time had gone over to look at it and had looked at it, and it was beautiful. And he goes, well, I have to finish up a few things, come back in a couple of days, and, you can pick it up then. So he comes back in a few days, and he's Pink Floyded the whole comic book, and cut it into pieces and made a giant collage. And he tells the guy he's made it better.
Hey, so I just want to point out the Yellow Flash just retweeted Marsupial Gamer's tweet about Dan Fraga, so we got someone like Yellow Flash lending a hand.
Okay. Voice.
Nice.
Thanks, Yellow
I'll
Flash.
tweet it out too.
Yeah, I appreciate that, dude.
I'll tweet it all 5 of my followers.
Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps.
I'm talking to a few folks on Twitter. Yeah, like I just watched the video again. The very first butt, that it's sort of bent over, so there's crack. But she's clearly wearing like a jumpsuit or a onesie. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's like I said earlier, and I don't want to keep repeating it, but if you type titties, butt, or nude, you'll find naked people all over YouTube.
Dude, I'm good. I'm good.
They just grabbed up nudity as the easiest word that they could think of to tag on as why.
Yeah, and Frog G, exactly. Frog G just said heels, ass, and Rakita.
Yeah, no, I know that list literally were my DMs that I just answered right now.
Nice.
Yeah, that was literally the guys. So yeah, probably around midnight, I'm gonna head over to Nick's channel and talk about it. I'm gonna pour a big fucking glass.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That'd be a good show right there.
Yeah.
Well, it also sucks because there goes your super chats from here on out. The memberships are.
You know what, man?
Are paused.
Here's the thing.
So,
that's true, but here's the thing. That I'm not going to stop sending stickers to the members. I'm not.
I know, right?
These are already ready. I'm going to send these up to Mike. These are going to get sent out. And what we'll do is a couple of things. Number one, there's just start with this new channel and just go.
Yeah.
Just don't stop.
Word.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do this for the super chats. The super chats help.
Right.
Literally, they help pay for the StreamYard, for Switcher, for my internet, for all the shit. You know, it literally helps pay for that stuff. So that's cool. I'll pay for it myself, and just start from go. I don't mind. Like, that's the thing, man. I literally, like, that's the funny thing, man. I literally just did a stream about when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and then it's like, oh yeah,
a handful of minutes after you say it.
The universe has got a bitch of a sense of humor, man.
Let's do this, then, motherfucker. Cool. All right, let's go.
Well, just like Dan said, you can deduct it too, because it's
yeah. Thank you, Past Master. Yeah, I can definitely deduct it, man. Thank you. Crackhead says up to 111 subs. That's right.
Yeah, you'll be back to be able to get monetized again at the end of the day.
Dude, you are, and as much as I want to, I'm gonna be just a little bit.
Getting those, the hard part is the 4,000 hours.
Oh yeah,
that is the harder part.
That is the hardest part. Like, I literally streamed every single day. October, November, and part of December. Yeah, Jason remembers. I streamed every day for 3 hours a day, and I had maybe 26, 27 people in the chat, and just work. And in January, they're like, "You hit it," you know. And I was like, "Okay, cool." October, November, December. I mean, that was great, but I don't care, man. You guys are here. I have absolutely faith. I have absolute faith.
They'll subscribe to Shay, and they can come on Sundays, and they can join me and Luke as we berate Shay and make fun of her.
Shay's awesome. Definitely check out the Muffin Man. I saw Frog G talk about the Muffin Man. Check out Muffin Man. You guys definitely check out the Muffin Man.
And our pigeon that we're working on.
Oh yeah, the pigeon.
The pigeon, the really shitty ripoff of.
I'm gonna back that, man, all day, every day.
Nice.
If Fred's in here,
what's that?
Our book of the pigeon, man.
I was talking to one of the guys, and they're like, "Yo, I'm gonna launch on this date. Are you guys cool? Cause are you guys gonna launch on that date?" And I was like, "Oh damn, fuck." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm launching Raid Pina Colada that day." And they're like, "Oh fuck, man." And I was like, "Yeah, man, it's a big day for me. Raid Pina Colada is gonna be hot shit." And he's like, "Oh, do you want me to do it the next fucking weekend?" And I was like, "Bro, like Raid Pina Colada." I'm like, Black Flag Pineapple Perception. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I'm trolling the fuck out of you. Yeah, so. But that sounds like a good book, though, right? Raid Pina Colada.
Yeah.
I'd smoke it.
Yeah. That sounds good, man.
There you go, Dan.
Kill the bugs and get lit. Oh, look at that.
Dan.
Rub the blood. Rub the blood, baby.
Nice. Oh, man, I remember that. I remember that. That thing's awesome.
Yeah, I got to sign in person.
To get it to a race, though.
Dude,
He's right. You rub it so hard, like you end up burning it to get the blood off.
Yeah. I got signed with New Warriors #1 when you were at a convention one time. Mark Bagley.
Bagley was there?
I believe so. This was in the early '90s, man. So mid '90s, somewhere in there in Ohio. I think Ohio. That or Pennsylvania.
It had to be Pennsylvania, bro.
Yeah, it probably was.
It was probably Pittsburgh in Monroeville.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I've been to a lot of cons, man, back in the day. That was before you had to worry about people, authenticating the signatures to verify it, make sure it's real.
So crazy. I know that one.
Man, I got a bunch of Jim Lee signatures over here. You can tell me they ain't real, they're real.
I'm the same way. I've got like 6 books signed by Jim Lee, and it's like...
Yeah.
I was actually talking...
I have one.
Luke,
it's X-Men #1.
Luke and Shay, and I was saying back in the day when you can get into Comic-Con at San Diego for 3 days for $30, now it's expensive.
Right.
Remember those days, Dan? It was $30 for a week.
What I find really ironic about this is Shay 53 minutes ago posted a video of a buff man flexing his muscles.
I post for that.
That was the which X-Men was that? Was it the Toys R Us exclusive one that had all 3 covers?
Yeah, no, not the Toys R Us exclusive, but it was the all 5 covers one.
Right, it folds out.
Yeah, folds out and then signed by Jim Lee in the bottom.
Oh man, I love that book.
The hell version of that signed by Jim Lee.
I love that book.
I dissected mine for all the posters when I got it as a kid.
Yeah, me too. But I still love it.
The posters, and I had to take them back.
I
have that one too.
That's a favorite one. I love that issue.
That's Claremont and Jim Lee.
Man, Xavier in that helmet was always the greatest design.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
one of my favorite issues of all.
This is my pride and joy though. This is my backboard that I get signed.
Dude.
Nice.
That's gorgeous.
I get this back. I got this backboard signed at many conventions. I even got Dave Cockrum with a little sketch. Yeah,
nice.
That's cool. Nightcrawler.
But like Jerry Ordway drew Superman, and then Bognavar came over and drew Lois, and you can never get away with this.
That is insane.
That's awesome.
Oh, Clark! Now I know why they call you the Man of Steel, right? Could you imagine if they did that today? They would be so blacklisted out of the industry just for that.
Do it.
That's awesome. That's what cons are about, right there.
Right?
I'm bringing this to CG Con. I'm having everybody sign it, so because I got room on the other side.
Dude.
So I'm hoping to be at CG Con.
That's fucking epic. I really hope CG Con actually
My book is
I want to
like
meet all y'all.
That was my favorite. I know this is Dan's favorite.
That's one of them.
Oh, I think I have that.
Definitely one of them. You got Punisher on that first page. Do you know that?
And the Extinction Agenda is pretty decent.
There he is.
Yeah, I always enjoyed Extinction Agenda.
Extinction Agenda is my favorite Jim Lee work, and the only place it's reprinted is in the Extinction Agenda trade paperback. It's not even in the XL. Ooh, look at that!
Oh, hell yes!
My favorite book, my favorite story was the Muir Island Saga.
Nice.
Is that
yeah, that stuff was
This
great.
is what got me into X-Men with this cover. This is my favorite Jim Lee cover of all time. I thought that was so damn cool. And this Savage Land story was amazing.
That is one of the best stories too.
That's
a great.
I always enjoyed the cover with Captain America, Black Widow, and Wolverine.
Whoa!
You guys just have like all these fucking amazing comics around you. All of mine are in the other room.
I mean, look at
three of his
in his prime. Dude, look at that.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Well, you had Nerdrotic pulling every.
Pose.
You had Nerdrotic today pulling out everything underneath from his desk, like he has an entire store under it.
I know.
Jim when he was still hungry, right?
All the good shit. All the good shit.
Yeah, they
You
are.
had a great
Sounds
sequence
about right for Gary.
where Magneto was protecting all the gunships, and they, some of the Russians shoot somebody, crashes into a gunship, and they lose all the protection from the Savage Landers. Remember that?
So great. Nice.
Dude, I've got
Jim
my,
back when he was hungry still.
Look at that. The Vampirella. Holy shit.
Oh man.
Nice.
So Shay, you and I
Vengeance.
Shay,
Nice.
you and I say Vampirella, and I hear
I say
Art and
Vampirella.
other people saying Vampirella.
Vampirella.
Yeah,
Vampirella.
Vampirella.
It is not Vampirella. I'm sorry.
No.
You're wrong.
Vampirella.
Yeah, why does everybody else say Rilla?
I don't know.
It's simple
Hold
spelling,
on.
right?
I gotta brag. I got a damn friggin' Powerpuff Girls. Come on now. What you got?
Guys.
Hey, Jason, is that Creed right there, brother? Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the alternative to my butt cover.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
Oh no,
job,
we
bro.
showed butt. We're gonna get struck now.
It's signed by
no.
Trent.
Oh
It's a-
damn.
Look at this.
Ooh,
See if I can get it without a glare. Look at this old thing. Vengeance and Vampire Buzz cover, I believe.
Holy shit.
Done back in the
Old
day.
school.
And Weems
Yeah,
inked it,
got
and
it.
Nagowski and Van Warmer. Does anybody remember Van Warmer?
That was a long time ago.
That was forever ago, man. 28 years ago. 26 years ago, something like that. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
No time flies.
Dude, I got a bunch of
New Warriors Bagley signed one.
That's a favorite of mine right there. That Chuck Dixon story.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit! Look at you.
Oh, you got Chuck too on there.
Yeah.
I have those down there.
I don't have the original issue, but you guys know that cover.
Oh yeah, love that book.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
I have
Punisher
both
was-
Classic. Oh, dude.
But I know
that
I can't remember if I have that one or not.
Will, please send me the link to that on Amazon. I gotta get that. That is gold.
it's the collected Jim Lee War Journal.
Oh yeah.
I think I have that issue somewhere.
Is that the first Greg Spawn?
By a Kula, yeah.
That his
Not by
first.
him. Yeah.
Dude, this is so cool. This is like hanging out with all your best friends and just being like, "What you got? Look what I got." And I feel like I get to
There
be
we
one
go.
of them because for the first time in my life,
something.
I went into a comic book
Little
shop.
battle
I pulled out long boxes and I like sorted
Yep.
through everything.
That's the one I got.
Nice.
That one.
Oh, yeah, Battle Chasers.
Fuck yeah,
Nice.
dude.
These puppies are all signed. I just have to get
Yeah,
them graded and authenticated.
Did Fraga say he
Nice.
has this? The link to this? Is that what he said?
Yeah, please send me
Yeah.
the link to that.
I want it too.
Okay. But it's cool. It collects all Jim Lee's.
Oh, yeah, man.
Divine Right. I loved that book.
I used to
was
collect
good
them just for the
stuff.
covers.
Didn't really
Oh,
follow
wow,
the story,
nice.
but you know that Travis Charest cover is amazing.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
why
I got them all that interconnect and everything.
Yeah.
This one was the next year for Robin 2, and I got Dixon, Lyle, and Bob Smith to sign it. And I got him to sign. I got him to sign all of them. So,
Are those the hologram, the little hologram with the card? The
Yeah,
Joker Wild ones? Yep.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
they're all signed on the inside just like that, all by all three of them. Yeah.
Right when everyone was in the alternate cover chromium crazy phase.
Yeah.
Frankie's got Count
Yeah, I got a
Duckula
bunch of
number
Mexicans,
one.
like 1 to 7.
Hold on to it. Hold on to it.
Now we're doing the scene from Jaws where we're comparing, wounds. And
Right.
someone's going to do a speech like Luke's gonna go, he's got black eyes like a doll's eye.
There you go.
Nice.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, that's a nice.
I've got a signed comic where I'm pretty sure Warren Ellis wrote "fuck off."
That'd be cool.
Nice.
Yeah. It was Black Summer #0 preview edition. Yeah.
At least you weren't the guy who brought How to Draw Comics the Marvel way to Rob. You saw that video, right?
No.
Somebody watched that video. Like, you're the president.
I remember that.
This
y'all
won't
I
show
haven't-
up at all.
Do y'all remember
Here's
the
the
X-Men
fine
Unlimited
hologram
series?
What's up?
Yeah.
The X,
The comic series, yeah.
yeah,
Brett
by
did
Dun Sema.
Awesome stuff on that.
Yeah, I got the
Prime,
that
Prime?
Oh, yeah, the Prime
Prime
stuff.
hologram cover, yeah.
Point Blank.
Is
Point
that
Blank.
the Alan Moore stuff?
No, it was it was it was Dun Sema and who was it? It was Jan Dun Sema and
I don't even know.
Is
it's-
Prime the one with the little kid who kind of melts on and melts off, the superhero kind of character?
I was
Yeah.
Prime was the kid that chugs the whatever the
Oh,
glue that turns
I
into
was
Prime.
thinking of
Then pukes
something
it up.
else.
And like he melts off and like becomes a kid
Right.
again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Ripped off of Captain Marvel. Yeah.
Right.
What's that? What's he
So I'm
got?
going to take off, guys. I'll see you later. I'll see you
All
at
right.
Red
Good to see
Valkyrie
you,
tomorrow.
Nick,
Nice-
great.
nice to meet you,
I'm
brother.
excited.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for coming
Thank
out.
you,
dude.
guys. This
You got
was
it, bro.
cool. So I'll see you
well.
tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Later.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Now, how do I get out of here?
You gotta hit it. Video.
So this is an original Eric Larson page.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
And the way I got this, it's a great story, right? So I'm 14. I'm at New York Comic Con. I have all my Eric Larson books over here that I got him to sign. He's got a line out the ass. I run up. I just run right to the front of the line, and I'm like, and I got my artwork with me, and it sucked. I'm 14 years old, right? It's like, it's like the shittiest artwork in the world. And I'm like, I need you to sign my books, and I want you to look at my art. And he goes, all right, relax. I got all these people. He's like, why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you come over here and sit down? And do me a favor, and he pulls out all he pulls out all his original pages and he lays them all out on this table. He's like, keep an eye on these and let people look at them while I sign everybody's book. And I sat there with him for 2 hours while he signs everybody's books, and I'm selling these pages for him. And at the end of it all, he takes a look at my artwork. He's nice as pie. Like, he's looking at this stuff and he's going, oh, yeah, this is good. A couple more years, do this, do that, and you'll be good to go. And I'm like, thanks very much. He signs all my books. And then as payment, he gives this to me for free.
Damn.
Oh, damn.
Well, Yaki was right.
Yeah, Yaki was right.
What did Yaki say?
I hope you didn't have to pay for this page.
Yeah. That's what Yaki said. I hope you didn't have to pay
Fraga
for
will
that.
like this one.
No, I didn't.
What's
But
that?
it was priced. It was priced.
Whoa, that's gorgeous.
That's pretty.
Oh,
Jonathan
wow.
Wayshak original.
Oh,
Washington.
Waychak.
Wow,
is
that's
the
nice.
shit. He's so good.
Yeah,
I love
it
his stuff, man. He's
It was a little
fantastic.
pricey, but it was worth it.
Apparently, it was priced at $50 back in 1992.
Damn. Will, where are you at where the sun is still up?
I'm in Oregon. It's gonna go down at 9:45.
Whoa. All right. Well, okay.
Don't you go to bed around then?
Yeah, I'm already asleep.
Yeah,
I'm
he-
getting tired.
He goes to bed at like 6 p.m.
I go to bed at 5 in the morning and wake up at 10:30.
I'm getting
Yeah.
up at 5 in the morning. I should get up and say, "Hey, go to sleep."
Well, I'm working on your Absolute Valkyrie, actually, Will.
What?
Think of it.
The print.
Didn't you sign up for it?
No, I mean, did I?
Hold on. Did you give
Pretty
her?
sure you
You
did.
gave her horns. Look at her.
That's
Right.
cool.
Nice.
Do you have
Yeah.
do you have a campaign, brother?
Yeah,
Yeah,
his campaign
Absolute.
is absolute.
It's called Absolute.
Oh yeah,
Unhinged
yeah.
Entertainment
Okay.
presents
I
Absolute.
signed up for so many. I'm like, okay, wait. Yes, that's absolute. Yes, I did.
Well, what's your last name? Your last name's Perdomo, right?
Yep, that's me.
That's you.
Great. I'll take it.
I'm not
I can,
nowhere near dumb as
play
that.
cliche every day.
Link is in the
Yeah.
chat. Check
Unhinged
out,
Entertainment.
Unhinged. Yeah.
Yo, Luke.
Yes.
I got actually a cool one that because me and Dan, I don't know who you guys are, but we're all really into artist editions. This is a cool artist edition. Have you guys seen this one, the Walt Simonson one?
Holy shit, that book is
Oh,
big.
That's
Oh,
cool.
I
I
have
have
that.
that.
Alien.
This one here. The reason why, I mean, just for I'll show
Damn, look at that.
you one crazy. Look at this shit.
Yeah,
God.
Right.
Damn.
Dude.
Oh.
Damn.
that's serious.
All scans.
Dude.
So what do y'all think about
Oh.
the Prometheus movie looking at that book there?
Meh.
I feel
Nothing beats
I
being-
feel like Prometheus took a look at that book is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I mean, like, look at that.
One of the ships directly from.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
What did Prometheus do?
That is so much like just gorgeous. That is gorgeous.
I don't know if you know what artist editions are, Shay, but they're like they take the original pages and they scan them at high quality, and they kind of collect them into a portfolio, so you can kind of own the original pages, so to speak. See, he's got the Jim Lee one. This is a rabbit hole that'll make you go broke, Shay.
Yeah, can we not? Because I'm already going broke trying to snatch up all the Fraga I can find.
I think, guys,
I know.
Damn.
in October they're putting out like that X-Men issue we were just looking at. They're putting out that artist edition from that book,
Oh my gosh.
which
this
is
is why I'm trying to get monetized so I can
Well,
quit my
Fraga,
other
you're doing
job.
an artist edition, right?
And then
What?
start-
Just talk about this
Isn't
stuff
Dan-
all the time. Yes.
Yeah, isn't
they're doing
yeah,
their
Dan's doing one.
he's doing this issue.
Oh
Yeah, and
my
I'm be
gosh.
buying Dan's artist edition when it comes out.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I
when you
have
look at
Dan's
the
book, The
aliens book,
Grave,
man.
in my basket on Amazon, just waiting.
I can't hear Shay, and it makes me upset.
What? You can't hear me?
if you
That's
look down
totally
at the
different.
office, you'll see that line of like brown boxes or all those beautiful artist editions that he owns.
Oh.
I have a few.
So he's the one who got me into it, like like a pusher.
Trying to make sure I
Yo, man.
Yeah, they're addictive.
He showed me that Daredevil, Mazzucchelli Daredevil. And I went, holy shit, what is that? And then I was hooked after that.
Right?
I think that was the first one, right, Dan?
Yes, one of them. I mean, there's a Mazzucchelli Daredevil. I think there was the what was the other one?
Did he do Daredevil before or after? Did he do Daredevil before or after year one with Frank Miller?
I believe. I don't know.
Because I will be honest with you, I did not know that Mazzucchelli did Daredevil until just like right now.
Well, you should go check it out.
I will.
Just curious first. The artist edition, you can still get it. They reprinted it, so it's available.
That's awesome. Love Mazzucchelli's work.
I don't know. Maybe me and Dan are the only freaks into those ones.
No, man. There are plenty. I mean, that's how they sell books.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard it, Dan, but they're doing this one. IDW.
Haven't they? Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's actually, excuse me, it's the wrong one. They're doing. Sorry.
Shit straight.
They're doing this one.
Yes.
This issue is getting an artist edition.
Just the issue?
I guess because it had that cover and it was Jim Lee's Uncanny X-Men, Chris Claremont.
No, that was they did modern covers that had that cover.
This comes out in October.
Oh, okay. I'm waiting for the Michael Golden Micronauts.
Ooh.
Well, you know what else they're doing, Dan? They're doing. I think they're trying to collect them together, but they're doing a Frankenstein artist edition.
Really?
Right? Frankenstein artist edition.
You're at 269, Dan.
Oh,
and that one, that's going to sell out fast.
Yeah.
Because even the other one, the one you have, that Artifact Edition one from Bernie Wrestling, that was gone in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, I have 2 of those. I told you about that.
Yes, and I'm buying one from you, remember?
You don't have to buy one from me. I'll just make you work for it.
Exactly.
You're already like, no, not good enough. Do it again.
Nothing pays the bills like artist editions.
Try again.
But yeah, I like how everybody kind of like lost their breath when I mentioned they're doing the Frankenstein artist edition.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, have you fucking seen it? Jesus.
Jay, have you seen it?
No, but it sounds amazing.
Oh,
shit.
Oh, shit.
Some of the best of his career.
Has Shay seen it? The answer's
am I glad
no.
I can't hear her right now? Is she disappointing everyone?
Just to kind of give you an idea what you're missing, Shay. I mean, it shows Shay what she's missing.
I'm missing all the things, obviously.
Let's find like an iconic plate to show them.
It's always a treat to discover Wrightston.
Oh yeah, you know Bernie Wrightston, Shay?
No, if you ask me if I know anything that has to do with a specific person, the answer is no.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
I have a shit. I don't pay attention enough.
Such subtlety in storytelling.
I'm just gonna be real. I'm like, this will be good. I've heard. And people are like, you've heard this name because he's a horrible person. And I'm like, oh fuck. Well, I own 5 of his books now. It was like, because I recognize the name, and I was like, I mean, can I use them as toilet paper?
Hey, sometimes just because they're horrible people doesn't mean they're not worth anything.
That's true. That's true.
Well, here's one plate.
Ooh, hold on.
Yes.
I couldn't find the big double pager.
Oh, that's stunning.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Holy shit.
So good.
That light looks so real.
Yeah. That's just sensual.
That's amazing. It will never be that good.
If you want to get an edition of Frankenstein, that's one to own.
See, how come every time you suggest something?
Sorry about that.
What?
I was just saying, every time Will suggests something, it's going to be $100+ investment. It's never like
that one gets out of print. So yeah.
Great, thanks. I'm so happy that this is what you suggest to me all the time.
Give me a link to that, Will, please.
You don't have
Which one was that? Was that Alive?
No, this was the straight
Or
up.
was that the original one?
Yeah,
that was the original one. You know, they revisited it, and he was working on this when he died.
So that is
Kelly Jones. Yeah, Kelly Jones had to come in and finish this. But I mean, look at this, right?
Oh my gosh!
Bernie was this fucking good up until the day he died.
Yeah, with a brain tumor, he was that good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like this, and like I said, Kelly Jones had to finish the last issue of this.
I mean, just to kind of give you an idea, you have.
I love Jason's name that he came back with. Fuck iPad.
We talked about this the other night on the stream. You guys remember we were talking about Stephen King and Bernie Wrightson?
Yeah.
You can kind of see
the werewolf.
Is you can see how squiggly his signature is because he was dying when he signed this.
Oh, that's sad.
He was dying from a brain tumor. You can see how squiggly it is. But if you know Cycle of a Werewolf,
yep.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh, dude, this is why people enjoy showing me new shit, is because I'm like, I'm not gonna say easily impressed because I'm not, but I have a very
He's the master
overreaction.
of shadow. The master of shadow. I mean, it's just remarkable what he did.
Come on. Excuse me, chat. Well, like
that's yeah.
Look at that
my
light.
gosh, I would frame that.
I love horror.
Yeah.
Holy
this
shit.
one's one of my favorite ones. That's very very.
Yeah,
that one's badass too.
Yeah.
It's all just so damn humbling.
The shadow and the light on the wood.
Right? Well, and he makes the fur look like fucking fur as opposed to when people do it and it looks like it's a flat piece
Yeah,
of
Bernie. There's a famous scene in the book where he hits him with the firework.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And in the movie where Corey Haim.
Story's good.
Wow.
Yeah, Silver Bullet, man. That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, that one
my
always
God.
freaked me out. That one always freaked me out.
Yeah.
Did they do a book on Silver Bullet that I don't know about?
It's based on.
It's based on a book.
That's what.
Yeah.
About what I
Cycle of the Werewolf.
what I mean is, did they do a graphic novel or a comic or something that I don't?
No, this is from the illustrated novel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bernie illustrated the novel when it came out. Yeah. They did a reprint of it a couple years ago.
Oh, cool.
The Halloween
Is
night.
Yoda in front of him?
Yeah, he's dressed as Yoda. What's his name? Marty. He's dressed as Yoda.
Okay.
And that's when they discover who the werewolf is. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've never seen the movie or read the book.
Fantastic book.
This one is a badass one. Look at that one.
Oh, I lied. That's the one I'd frame. That's it.
That's amazing.
And then the climax of the book and the film.
Yep.
Dude,
Right.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I'm super twisted because all the ones that I'd frame are like super visceral and people are being like ripped to shreds. I'm like, ooh, put that on a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as
That's
Dan,
because that's the good shit.
That's the best ones.
this is your new favorite artist, Shay.
Okay. See,
I
I
heard
need the
Dan-
name later. I'm a little too drunk to remember.
Dan called me once. He's like, you know who Kim Jong-ji is? I'm like, no, he's your new favorite artist.
I mean, I've gotten on a Junji Ito kick lately, but that's because his shit will fuck your brain up really good.
This is a book that Bernie did with Steve Niles.
Oh, that's a great
Actual-
team.
Wow.
Yeah. Steve Niles can write a good yarn, man.
Dude, I love when they can make the sky look like it's burning.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like when they can really like sell that either dawn or dusk where like everything looks like it's on fire. I fucking love that aesthetic.
There's this portfolio that came in.
Oh, good shit.
Frag
Y'all
is
are
up
making
to-
me work tonight. Damn.
Frag is up to 306.
Yes.
Crap.
Damn.
Get it, y'all. Get it.
Thank the Lord.
Keep it going.
Yeah, we're doing the shelf porn tonight, so everybody go in.
Obviously.
I'm looking at
Thanks,
Jay.
Dan.
I'm looking at Jay's Twitter now. I like his art, man. You got good art, brother.
Oh, thanks, man. You talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, there's Jason. There's Jason Krager too.
Is he on Twitter? I didn't find him.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you?
I found you. I found Unhinged. I don't know if you have another
you.
one.
No, it's just that one. I set that up 10 years ago when I was married and didn't use it for 9.5 years. So, yeah. I gotta sign up. I gotta sub to Fraga.
I know.
Thank you.
I've been tweeting it out. I think I subbed to you. Hold on. I don't know if I subbed to you on both of my channels.
I gotta go. Tomorrow is going to be all about putting artwork back up, putting videos on.
Make sure that you dispute that shit too.
Oh, that was
hell
why.
yeah.
That's why I said I had to go. That's exactly what I did.
Good.
I was like, bam, appeal.
The thing is, like, look, if a bunch of thoughts can get away with doing a hell of a fuck ton more nudity, then I'm as a woman, I'm super fucking pissed about this shit. Like, as a woman, I'm upset.
Stay away from Twitch.
Nudity.
There was no nudity, guys.
No,
was
there was
no
none
right?
at all.
No, I know.
Under curvature of ass is not nudity,
There
okay?
was
Under
not
curvature of
enough.
boob or cleavage, that's not nudity.
There was not enough nudity.
Wasn't there some schmuck here earlier celebrating? I can't remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
there was.
That might have happened.
Yeah, he's gone.
Who's gone?
I don't do.
It was
I don't do that.
testified, Dan.
I can't remember his name.
And I guess Delta Spurg was also talking shit too.
I don't do that shit on my channel.
Do we know this person?
Yes.
This person notorious?
I know both of them. Yeah.
I know both of them. I'm friendly with them.
Same.
I don't see them doing anything like that, but I definitely see them rubbing it in.
Yeah, I
Don't be dicks.
I had my
Right,
fill
right.
of bullshit tonight, so
Yeah.
I might unmute them later, but they're muted right now because I'm not putting up with that fucking bullshit right now. Okay.
What kind of wine cooler are you having?
It's not a wine cooler, bitch.
Oh
Is it
shit!
White Claw?
It definitely looks like a wine cooler, though.
Is that a Zima? Did you fucking unearth a Zima?
No, it's a red hard cider.
I want to point out
Release that shit.
I want to
That
point
shit's
out that
so
Jake and
terrible.
Chug
Back in my
wine
drinking
bottles
days, I do
out.
shot the one with tequila chasers.
J Money's been there when I just drink straight from a wine bottle. So sometimes
I
shit
just walk
happens, and Shay just needs to get the alcohol in her system somehow.
It's a lot easier than cleaning the glass.
It is. That's thank you.
It
That's
really
exactly
is.
why it happened. I didn't have a
You
glass.
guys put a lot of chemicals in your system, you and Luke, and I'm like, I would die if I had like a quarter of what you guys drink. I would literally die. I would go into some kind of weird anaphylactic shock and stop breathing.
I don't know. I'm gonna blame German Constitution.
Yeah.
Like,
And so,
just
and,
handle a lot of.
Like, what do you want from me?
and Matt,
Unfortunately, I have finished mine.
Yeah, I'm out too.
as you've gotten more and more nude,
Granted, it was nearly 2 liters.
and you had your shirt on.
This was
I finished a bottle of Johnny Black and I cracked a new one while we were bouncing from stream to stream.
This is all that I was gonna drink tonight, and then the strike happened, and I said, "Fuck it!" And I grabbed 2 more.
Finish off that pack.
I had Spidey coffee.
I'm just
Nice.
waiting for Jason to slurp.
Coffee. Always coffee.
Yep. Nectar of motivation.
Coffee with
That was
whiskey in it.
very nice of you.
No,
I
Boo,
drink
I
quite a
do
lot
not
of
drink
things.
Zima. Thank you very much.
Do they still make
Come
that?
on.
I don't know. So the other night I was drinking Pepsi with the blackberry moonshine in it, which is fucking
Sounded pretty
delicious, by
good.
the
Oh, I
way.
remember that.
Yeah, it was really upsetting because I didn't feel drunk at all. I was
Or were
like,
you drinking
dude,
alone, like you usually do?
I always drink alone. You have to have friends to
I
drink
drink
alone.
alone with nobody else.
Right, Shay?
I don't have friends in real life. I just have friends on the internet.
Oh,
She's like, I only drink
my
it
friends are cats.
feeling.
You say that like that doesn't describe all of us.
So, yes, Luke. Very true.
Why do you think I drink with you all on stream? I know we're all in the same boat.
I used to have friends in real life. They sucked. I'd rather be here.
I gotta
Or
tell
they
you,
can strike your channels.
I now know what Alice from the Brady Bunch feels like. Cause I'm like looking up to the
There you
left,
go.
looking up to the right. Looking I'm like,
I don't think I've ever been to Roche, though. I've always been off to the side or at the bottom. I've never been under her.
Yeah, that's usually by design.
Hey, is there any way we can get Christopher John in here? Is he available? I see him in the chat. Is there any way you can get him in?
Who?
If somebody wants to shoot him the link.
I can send him the link.
Can I not hear someone
I
again?
shot Yaki the link to see if
I
he
think
wanted
the
to-
Sunday I got booted from Shay's channel like 4 times. I think, no,
5.
5. It was 5.
It was 5.
Yeah.
It was 5 times you got put in timeout.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I saw vividly.
So Will, are you stopping people?
I think you got booted in the first like 3 minutes too.
Yeah, it happened real quick.
Well, I mean, I got it. If I don't get booted by Shay once, I feel like I haven't done my job.
I haven't been enough of a jerk.
I'm trying to figure out what it is about me that makes people feel like they got to knock me down a peg.
It's the same thing Fraga has. You have some kind of pheromone you produce that produces insolence in the brains of others. Insulin.
So it's not because you're a wee short little man, is it?
No.
You know, don't you pick on the.
Is this why we get along so well? Is because Will picks on both of us?
Yeah.
Will doesn't pick on me.
No.
Will doesn't pick on you because you pay.
That's not true.
The only thing
he picks on me incessantly.
It's because I've known Will since we were both kids.
Shay, I don't pick on Dan because I respect him.
Oh.
Wow. Did you put
I just don't see it as picking on me. I don't see it.
Hold on. Okay.
Rip.
We just need a minute without Will for a second.
The only thing I pick on Shay about is her whole Justin Bieber.
I said one song, and it's not even his. It's one that he fucking stole from Ed Sheeran.
All I know is you said my favorite Justin Bieber song.
One song, and it's Ed Sheeran's song, and Ed Sheeran does it better.
You're such a girl.
I won't let her live it down.
Girl, Will?
Yeah, you're
okay. Will's gone again.
I mean, to be fair, she's completely allowed to be a girl.
Well, Shay is one of the homies. Shay is one of the homies.
Yeah, you're like a hot girl, like in place.
So this is the only time that I can ever do this to Will, which is why I do it to him, because it's like having, you have the little sister, but she's the one that ends up in control over something, and she's like, I'm gonna need you to sit down, okay? Like that's the dynamic Will and I have.
Well, I look like I'm really angry at Will.
It's perfect though.
But Shay,
you're on my side.
Have you seen her do it where she kind of laughs and giggles?
Laughter.
Puts her little beady eyes on you and then boots you.
Why do I gotta have beady eyes?
You do have beady eyes from here.
That's just mean.
It's the resolution. It's your crappy internet making your eyes beady.
First off, my internet is the best that I can fucking get out here, and I'm 20 minutes from
But
Baltimore?
you have to trade moonshine for it. How good can it be?
I don't know. Look, my moonshine. So I fully admit that I'm
an alcoholic. Yes, we know.
You know what? There was a show called Perfect Strangers. You guys remember it?
Yeah.
I think
there was a character called Balky.
Yep.
Cousin Laddie.
I became a alcoholic, and what happened is the only way I could resist alcohol was to just fucking not watch it ever again. So I stopped. I saw one episode and I never watched another.
So Shay should never have me on the show ever again.
How did you not watch that show? The 2 chicks that lived upstairs were hot as hell.
Because of real life hot chicks, my man.
No, I hear you. I was 12. So.
It's hard, man.
Those 2 chicks and Bosom Buddies were really hot.
Wait, they were.
I'm a big fan of Golden Girls, man. Give me some of that Blanche.
Did you guys ever? Did you see the
early '90s, late '80s Kelly Bundy?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
That face of Christina Applegate.
That's kind of
If you
cheating,
crush me,
though.
I'd be okay with
How's
that.
it cheating?
Because it's Kelly Bundy.
Or when she was doing like the Motley Crue look, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I do.
with the leather jacket.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you, Will.
You gotta pull out the ringer.
I had the poster with her with the owl on the one arm and the boa constrictor on the other arm.
I don't know that one. That's
awesome. And she's just wearing a leather vest, and that's all she's wearing. That and a pair of jeans.
Fucking hot
as hell. Fucking hot as hell.
Let me interrupt, guys. I just cracked open a 2005 single malt whiskey.
Comment.
Yeah, from it's called the Klansman. I would like to dedicate this to Dan Fraga because of the shenanigans tonight.
I don't have shenanigans.
Oh, I'm out of ice. You have to give me ice. I can pour another one. Hold on.
I'm gonna pour another one when I go upstairs.
I'm gonna pour a probiotic out for you.
Holy fuck! And tomorrow's baby morning for me too, which is crazy.
Oh hell!
It's all right.
Dan, this is all you gotta do.
Man.
Use more calories than you put in. That's all you gotta do.
Well, that's classic, bro.
I did that shit with twins, Dan. I feel you.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay.
Twins, holy shit.
What'd you think of early 90s Kelly Bundy?
Which Jay?
Well, Jay Money.
With Kelly Bundy?
Yeah, which phase?
Let's say towards the end of the season.
Really?
When she matured a little bit.
Really? I guess we're all going for the Motley Crue look.
Well, dude, she and I are like the same age, so for me it was like looking at a girl of my age and going, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so really every season.
I was just going to say, she didn't look too young at the time.
Nah, exactly.
So Shay, what do you think? What was your
kind of does now, but not at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You like Kelly Bundy, right, Shay?
All right,
Fuck yes, of course I do.
What does she look like now? I don't even know.
Writing comics asks a good
don't.
question.
Just
Writing
don't do
comics says, what do you think of early 90s Peg Bundy?
Oh,
and I'll tell you what, at the time, I'm like, she's old. And now, I'm like, yo, Al, what's your problem? Go hit that shit.
When you pull her,
shit, bro.
Watching as an adult, I don't understand what Al Bundy ever did to get Peggy.
Exactly.
Right?
Like
Well,
watching as a kid, I was like,
but he was the football champ.
Remember?
Yeah.
3 touchdowns.
He's like
One
a
game.
fat Bob's shoe salesman
One
now.
Yeah,
game.
but they were together
though.
since high school.
That
Yeah,
shit happens though.
Yeah.
That shit happens. Some people hit their peak in high school, and that's that.
Yep.
But
That's
Dan, you
bad.
figured out her big
So-
dad forgot about it and put a gun to his head to marry her.
You want to know the worst thing now
Huh.
is that show could never be made.
They're bringing it back.
Could not.
They
Will
should not
never-
bring it back. You
They're not
can't.
going to bring it back in the capacity it was. They can't.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
They
even want
brought
to know
back
how
One
they're
Day at
gonna
a Time, too, but look what a shit show that is.
Which one?
Well, I keep.
One Day at a Time.
Oh.
Did
I
they?
don't know what that
He
is.
scored 4 TDs in one game.
They brought back.
One game.
They brought back One Day at a Time.
Yeah.
I did not hear about that.
Yeah.
Right,
Now it's a family of Hispanic women.
Yeah, they're
No
destroying
idea.
all.
No impact.
You know you're a man.
They're destroying
Oh, so-
all our old.
So they
TVs.
just remade it. They didn't bring it back.
It's
Yeah,
1984, man. They must replace everything that was with the current party line.
Yeah.
The current
I-
party
it's
line.
always
The current
current,
party
it
line
always
is
now.
boring.
If you do not
Yeah,
erase
it
the
is.
future, you are the past, you are doomed to repeat it.
See, this
think
is what I
so.
don't understand. There's an entire panel right now of sane human beings of our, own amounts of sanity. But there's an
Relatively
entire panel of us, women, men, various backgrounds. All of us are saying the same fucking thing. So why is it that this tiny little fucking majority is the one that gets to dictate what the rest of us are subjected to for the rest of our fucking lives? I'm
They
serious.
They
wanna
have
make-
all the money.
Because
They
they're
wanna
they're the loudest on social media. That's
Hey,
exactly
that-
what it is.
So I'm just
They
gonna
have
go around
all
punching
the
people in the
money.
face now because apparently we can do that. That's okay.
Hey,
They
back
want to make us mad.
It's
They
National
wanna make us
Organization
mad.
against Amazonian masterhood, not patriarchy. And Marcy's gang was called Fang, feminists against, what was it? Neanderthal guys.
Oh yes.
Fellow
What are you
Fang-
saying now? What is this? What are you talking about now?
That
No,
was
ma'am.
Marcy's group that was like counter to Al's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called Fang.
My
He-Man's
favorite
Women
episode
Hater
is
Club.
still. My favorite episode is still where they knock over Al's ashes in his barbecue, and then they take Darcy's great aunt's ashes, and like
They mix them in.
yeah, when
Right.
Steve eats the burger and like they whisper to Steve and he goes. He just
Fucking terrible.
goes in.
Well, and then he makes burgers that afternoon, and you see both Callie and Butter like, oh,
she's working hard, and he gets turned on and bangs her out like 7 times.
Wait,
She has to clean the backyard.
What just happened?
He keeps banging her out.
Oh yes! At the end of it, Peg's like, "No, not again, not again," and he's like, "Come here."
It was like the one time ever.
Right.
I always enjoyed the scenes where right before they were about to get it on, the awkwardness that they would portray, and only if you're an adult did you catch on to it.
Yeah. As a kid, I was like, "Yeah, don't do it."
Hey, we've been married for years. Can't we just be friends?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I really, really miss Married with Children.
What do you say? Rod said, what do you say? Who up here? Oh, the Biggins magazine, the Dodge with 1 miles, and the Psycho Dad. Remember Psycho Dad?
Psycho Dad.
Oh,
what was the neighbor? What was the neighbor that would come over on the show? What was
Steve.
Are you talking about
Yeah, first it was
Marcy?
Steve.
Steve and Marcy, and then
it switched to Jefferson.
Jefferson and Marcy.
Jefferson. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! My dad was so in love with that show.
And then Jefferson was the pretty boy who didn't have any.
Jefferson was the one who couldn't do a damn fucking thing because every time he tried, he's like, "I got a blister."
He was just a gigolo, though. What do
That's
you
right.
want?
The last
Steve
name
was
was
the one that knocked it out, right? Because you were thinking about Steve.
The last name was Darcy. Marcy Darcy.
Yeah.
Marcy. And then you had Al Bundy's various like sidekicks at the shoe store, like Griff, and the young guy that was like him married the little black kid who married like a black Peggy, and he was like all sad.
Oh yeah.
Somehow they always seemed sadder than him.
It was Griff, and Griff and what was the other guy's name? The 3 of them.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember.
Yeah, Griff was the big black guy.
Yeah.
Big black guy that was in like Gone in 60 Seconds. Can't remember his name. What did he play?
The other guy.
Yeah, there was another white guy.
Chuck Adams said Jefferson was the OG simp. Here's the thing. He wasn't a simp because a simp pays the girl. Jefferson had to beg for money every fucking episode. He was like, "Darcy, can you give me an advance on my allowance?"
He was literally a gigolo.
Yeah, Jefferson was a professional gigolo. That was
So they're bringing back Married with Children.
And if I recall correctly, he had been a very successful one up until Marcy.
Yes.
He was CIA assassin.
What are they gonna do with this new show?
How are they gonna work it?
They're not.
Is it going to be a reboot or
they're
pretty much
rebooting the show. They're rebooting.
Is it a reboot or a remake?
They're rebooting the show.
So all the original actors.
So it may be a reboot and a remake.
Do you realize they had like blow up dolls in that show, and like David Faustino, like Bud was like banging out blow up dolls and
Yes.
I just
fucking time, or like mannequins he would randomly get from a department store somehow. And he was like,
what about Al's daydreams, where like he was just like be walking down the street and the wind would be blowing and the chick would be there in her tight little 80s skin tight one-piece dress. Pam Anderson was on it.
I agree. Married with Children 2020 cannot be good. There's no.
It'll be like Roseanne when they kick Roseanne off the show.
That was a damn shame.
He had that dream with Pamela Anderson fighting over him with that other.
No Ma'am's Club.
Weren't like a lot of the models on that show before they made it big? Like wasn't Kathy Ireland on that show?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was like the rite of passage.
Yeah.
If you want to make it, you have to go on Married with Children first.
I remember how they went to LA and everyone in LA is a scumbag, and he's like, "Bundy, I've been in this business since my wife was this tall."
Like, there's no way Kelly's character could be portrayed on TV nowadays.
No. If she was portrayed now, she wouldn't be dumb. She would constantly emasculate whatever man she was with. And she would throw them to the side and everyone would cheer her, as opposed to when she throws them to the side and everyone's like,
You know that you're dumb, right? And that was probably the best you could have done. So you probably
No, but
should
what
get
it was
it back.
like the fact that she was like basically like she was basically a slut. You know
was
what I
a
mean?
Oh no, that part
Yeah.
can stand because you realize that they're taking back the word slut, whore, bitch, cunt, all of that stuff.
Well,
They're
right.
taking those back.
So either they can't do it the way it was, or they're gonna make it so that like she's basically a womanizer, but
Who was the
the
actor
opposite
who
way.
played?
Here you go.
Who was
William
the
C.
actor who
knows.
played his son?
Yep.
She'd
Who
be a
was the actor who
lesbian.
played his son?
There you go. But that's what Dark Marcy basically was.
Mary Sue Bundy.
Marcy pretty much acted like a lesbian in every way.
Right, yeah. Well,
Marcy was a feminist. Holy shit,
Yeah.
she was.
But that changed like when they got rid of Steve. Like that, there was a switch. Like she was kind of.
She was a slut after Steve.
Well, she became like the hardcore feminist. But she became like very like.
The feminist.
She became a feminist, but she also became like she became a horny feminist. You know what I mean? Like she
became a feminist that wanted to get nailed 24/7. But
Yeah, it
never
was the
could 'cause
weirdest
she was
thing.
so
Is that why I liked her towards the end of the season?
Like a contradiction.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like
She's talking to her sister. She's like talking to Peggy and explain to her how like men hide their scent from cheating on their wives. She's like, "What happened with the guy? I asked him to rub his hands in the grass." And Bud's like, "Do you ask him to get off of you, or you just work around your head?"
and I gotta tell you, I know Dan was like when he was younger, he was like no way, but when it came to Peggy, I always had a thing when I was younger for older bras, and I was I'd bang the shit out of Peggy.
Yeah,
That wig
it
was hard to
her-
get past, though.
It was her hair and like and
All
her,
right, I'm talking about the attitude. No, but like just if you looked at a still picture of her and like the little tight leopard
dude,
pants.
now that I'm 47, I'm like that young lady is hot.
Yeah, that's Steven Seagal's sister right there. So what was Steven Seagal?
And Katie Seagal is still hot.
Oh
Yeah, Katie Seagal is still hot.
Yeah, she is still hot.
She was
Can
in
I-
Sons of Anarchy.
Can I just say, I
looked good
fucking
in that,
love.
too.
I love that Married with Children was a family affair in my household. Like my parents and I would sit and watch Married with Children, and all of the innuendo, all of the like trying to get laid constantly. The I hate my wife. I'm trying to run away from her. Like all that shit present, and I'm sitting there with my mom and my dad. Something had happened. I'd be like, "Dad, you do that to mom," and he was like, "Shh, don't
It
say
happens to me
anything."
right now in my household.
Right.
You remember when Santa Claus died and like fell in their yard and was dead?
I think I remember
Oh my
that
god!
episode.
They're watching on TV and he's like, Santa Claus is parachuting into the mall and like he's been blown off course. He's like slams into the pavement in their backyard. and Marcy's like drinking because she's Santa Claus died and like Buck is walking around with his shoe.
Oh my gosh!
Okay,
I've got to note one thing that's really pissing me off. So, Hand of Sin had a comment I really wanted to highlight.
What?
But StreamYard, I assume, decided that the word within the comment was something that we weren't going to say, so it won't even bring it up for me to highlight. He said, "A horny feminist, LOL." I think it's funny as fuck, and I'm pissed off that StreamYard won't let me show it because StreamYard doesn't even show it as being here.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I hate censorship. This is so dumb.
The censorship is out of this world.
This is stupid as shit, for real. I can't.
My wife got a 24-hour ban today.
I remember that one.
Oh.
What?
She got what?
She got a 24-hour ban today. It seems like it's banned the Frega Day.
Yeah.
No, but she was on. She's friends with Arthur Adams' wife, Joyce Chin. And there was like some post about Canada not letting Canadians over here, and Brianna had posted, it's of course Canada's smart. They don't want to catch anything from us white trash Americans. They gave her a 24-hour suspension for saying white trash Americans.
Oh my fucking hell!
So hold on, listen to this. So I have a friend named Colin. Who lives in Saskatchewan in Canada, and he has the same program that Sketch has, where you can record the screen on your cell phone.
Yeah.
And he has an app on his Apple iPhone that shows news. And every time that he tried to click on the news article, it would say that it's unavailable, and it would skip down to the news article before or below it. And the news article dealt with Justin Trudeau and the cases that are against him and the censorship that's being done by him. And it's from an app that's on his phone.
Weird.
And then it censors that app that says it's not available. And
you can't screen.
So you can't even read the news article from his Apple iPhone.
The best way to do it is use a second phone and record the screen of your phone.
Yeah, that's what he has an app that actually like it'll you know how Sketch like back in the day he'll show some tweets or put videos on his thing that shows him recording the screen of his phone. Yeah. He has the same program. And from an app on his Apple iPhone, it was being censored by Apple. It would not let him link to it.
Crazy.
But this is what I don't get is why. Like, honestly, you could, even if you're going to say some of the most vile, vicious, horrible things, I literally raised my right hand and pledged my fucking life to defend your right to say stupid bullshit that I disagree with.
Right.
Okay? I'm in the United States fucking Air Force. If they decided they were going to send me overseas to be cannon fodder, my ass is fucking going. Why the fuck are you censoring me on YouTube over this shit? This is so stupid.
That's the funniest thing. I mean, I'll be honest, and this might get me a lot of boos, but I was a lifelong, I mean, even now I still kind of consider myself quote unquote liberal. I mean, I was a lifelong Democrat, and like the saying was, you know, I like you just said, like I might not agree with what you say, but I'll defend to my life your right to say it. That was the liberal stance for like decades, and I don't know where it switched, like, but it like flipped hardcore.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, all of us old centrists are now righties, not because we moved, but because they moved the fucking ground under us.
That's what I said.
The window switched. It went.
That's what I said.
Way.
Yeah,
left.
I mean, yeah, I've got some pushback shit going on, but for the most part, my opinions are still the same as they were in '78. It just doesn't mean the same shit anymore.
Yeah,
right. Right. Same thing. Like I the way I was in the '90s is the same way I am now. And somewhat, it was like you said, it was like standing on like a treadmill, and like they just flicked the switch and like didn't warn you, you know, just right out from underneath you.
That's a good example.
Well,
that's a good example.
Before I leave, I wanted to actually say this to Shay because I'm glad we brought up Married with Children because it was actually a quote on Married with Children. I went, oh, I'm thinking of Shay because of this quote.
Whoa!
When Marcy showed because she can't turn on Steve because she crashed his car. And she's asking for Al Bundy's advice. And she's like, I need advice to turn on a man. And Al Bundy's like, all right, let me let you know what's going on. And he says, what did you do with Steve's car? What did he tell you not to do? She's like, touch his car. He's like, what did you do? I touched his car. See, you disobeyed a man, so you weren't doing the job as a woman.
Oh, shit.
I think Will's in love.
You guys,
this
I
is
gotta
where
go.
Will leaves of his own accord.
I have to go. I gotta go. Nick Riqueta is telling me to come over, so I'm gonna
do it, man.
Well, you gotta kick it.
Love you, Dan. Thank you for coming, hon. Sorry you got struck. This is stupid.
Good to see you,
We're
Dan.
gonna figure it out, guys. You guys are awesome.
Hell yeah.
Okay, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Show back.
Do your job as a woman and kick me.
Do your job as a you motherfucker.
Not
Hey,
every
Will,
Have
you
a
and I
good
would
night,
have fun.
Will. Goodbye.
Will, you and I would
Bag
have
of
fun at a
dicks.
bar. I would have a good time. Christopher John, would you get in this chat?
Man,
Please
he's
get in
working.
here.
He's working.
Oh, is
back
he
to-
working? Okay, never mind.
Going back to what Wolverine was saying, and what I remember a stream. I think it was an EVS stream, where Cecil said it. It was like, you're going right, because he's also technically what he would consider like a liberal or on the left.
Most of us that they call right are really just centrists.
Yeah, I've kind of fallen into the center left, but like in the '90s, I was probably as left as you can get back then. You know what I mean? Like I marched in one of the first Take Back the Night rallies at a local college. You know what I mean? Like it was.
So I don't want to interrupt, Gift, but really you were tricked. So really you've always been a centrist or right leaning, but you had the narrative had gotten a hold of you.
I think what it's called now is like where I'd fall is like a social libertarian. You know what I mean? Like I'm for like less government, more individual, freedoms and stuff. But I do.
Yeah, I get you.
I do see the need for like certain social safety nets for like citizens in the country and stuff.
So when you say you're libertarian, do you want the federal government to do more to quell the drama that's going on right now?
That's a rough one. I think there's no. It hasn't gotten to the point where I think like that needs to happen. Although I think it's very close.
I don't think the government is capable.
Well, they are capable, but someone like Trump doesn't want to do it. But I think Dark Gift, like Wolverine said, Dark Gift is more of a centrist, and he was just unfortunate because I was tricked because I'm almost 40, so we were tricked, man. We were tricked.
Yeah, I'm 44, so yeah.
Yeah, we were tricked. We really were tricked, and now that even because I follow Shay and Shay follows me, and so there's certain channels that I follow that I know that she follows. We think alike, and I think people like Gift and Wolverine. Wolverine, what's your Twitter? What's your Twitter?
That's a good idea. Let me look.
But what I'm saying, okay, so that was completely derailed.
It's at Wolverine, but instead of the middle O, it's a 0.
So I just think a lot of us were unfortunately deceived. Yeah. And I don't know how old Shay is, but because my older sister's in the Army as well, and my best friend in the world, who was my best man in my wedding, was also a Army Reserve. So there's people like him who were tricked. We were all tricked, man. We were tricked, and it's very unfortunate.
I mean,
somebody lied to me.
Here's the thing, like I was saying to a friend the other day. I was like, I remember when we would fight the Republicans on censorship.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when like D. Snyder and everybody went in front of Congress and argued
Not to mention
censorship.
bad.
And we should have known then, because who put their fingers in that? Tipper Gore. We should have known then. You know what I mean? But we didn't.
Bothered about Dungeons and Dragons.
Seriously, that name. Even as a kid, I thought her name was ridiculous.
It is. It's a goddamn joke.
Sorry. I mean, not to pick on somebody's name, but as a kid, I always
but going back to something that Cecil said that like really connected with me watching the stream one day. He said, he's like, no, I didn't go right. I got pushed right.
Yeah, there's a lot that got pushed. I agree. Yeah. But I think, because I've seen you on streams a couple times and I've heard the things you said. I think you're kind of like in the same category as me, and we were completely tricked. We were bamboozled, as Razmaz put it.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not denying that. Like there was obviously something going on that I wasn't seeing back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm comfortable being in the center right now because I'm getting along with a lot of the more moderate guys like myself. I'm getting along with a lot of conservatives that are more moderate. I'm seeing things from both sides. It's
yeah.
So if I'm going to be wholly honest, when it comes to my political views, and these are, I feel like I have to say this, these are mine and not a reflection of anybody within the United States government or any of the military. Purely my views. Throwing that out there.
Disclaimer.
Look, you always got to cover your ass, right? Mm-hmm. I do not agree with how much the government tries to get into daily life. I really don't. I don't think that the government has a place in marriage. I don't understand why I have to pay the government if I want to get married. I have to pay them if I want to get divorced. I want to pay them if I have to get annulled. Yeah. To me, as someone who is religious, that is something between me, my spouse, and God. That has nothing to do with the federal government whatsoever. And I don't care if I'm marrying somebody who is my same sex, somebody who's a different sex. I don't care if I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter. Mm-hmm. If it's within my religion, that should be a religious thing. That's not something the government should be able to profit off of, which is exactly what they fucking do. And
remember, that's a state government. You said federal, but I think you meant to say state.
Well, the federal makes the laws.
Yeah. Right. So when you get married, the people who make money off of you is the state.
Here's the fun thing: you can get married in one state, divorced in another, and 2 states profit off of it.
Yep.
Well,
super fun.
Here's the thing: like, if we're going with like just bringing it down to basic like taxes, like I think federal taxes are like ridiculous, but I don't mind paying like, I don't know, a county tax or a state tax, to maintain where I'm living right here. You know what I mean?
It depends. So, okay, as someone who's military, I move all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I pay state tax for what my home of record is. So I pay state tax for Utah despite not living in Utah. I'm okay with that because I know what Utah is doing with my taxes. Utah is keeping my roads so they're nice fucking roads. They're keeping our parks clean. They're keeping things clean.
What I mean. Yeah.
And new and everything. However, I also have a part-time. So because I have a part-time job, I now pay Utah tax and I get to pay Maryland tax. Maryland taxes me about 40% for what I make for my second job because it's a second income and they are a highly, highly liberal state. So in their mind, I have 2 jobs. I must not need this second job that I own and work X amount of hours at because I already have a main income. So they tax this shit 40%. They say that they put it towards my roads, and yet every fucking day I drive to work, how many potholes do I hit? How many times? I've literally had a grate for a storm drain shred 2 of my tires and fuck up my fucking rims to the point that I had to go back to the state. I had to go back to the county and say, y'all are paying for this shit because you're the ones that had a fucked up road, that had a popped up storm grate that ended up fucking my wheels. And oh, by the way, a truck hit it, lost control, hit into a SUV, who then lost control, jumped a curb, and this dude almost fucking died. Okay, I watched this car go airborne and then hit into a car down below him, and they went, oh yeah, we'll replace your tires for you. I'm like, what are you taking my money for? If you were taxing me 40% because I have 2 jobs, how does that even happen? That doesn't happen in Utah.
So how is that happening here? Privilege. You have 2 jobs when some people of color don't even have 1.
Technically, I got 4 jobs. You really want to get technical with me? I got 4.
Like Michael Beacon just said, if I was living in an area that was not just kind of like side spinning off that. Did you see the protesters for the defund the police asking for police protection?
Yes. We need police protection at this defund the police rally.
Like I said earlier, the universe has a 6th sense of humor.
My most favorite was listening.
Hey. Welcome to the U.S. college institution.
Are you in the South or are you in the North, Jay?
My most favorite is they had a cop who was filming this, and he goes, I went into work today, and I was getting my assignments. And they said, there's a defund the police rally going on downtown. They asked for police protection, and my ass has to go down to the defund police rally to protect these motherfuckers.
That's what he said. He goes, that's fine. You want to put, he's like, I'm all for it, blah, blah, blah. First Amendment, this, that, and the other thing. He goes, but then you asked for my, and he started laughing in the camera.
He was like, I shit you not. They asked for my protection. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, you're actually trying to put me out of work, and then you're like, yo, can you make sure nobody tries to hit me with a bottle or anything? Like,
it's too funny.
No.
And it's
only in this country could they get away with something so fucking stupid.
Right, well, that's why, like, going back to what Jay Money said, like, do I think, like, the government should step in? Not really, not unless somebody does something treasonous. I mean, once something like treasonous happens, then yeah, the government has the right to protect the nation. But you know what I mean?
That is exactly.
At some point, they have to come in and do something about things, but they can't do it too early because that's what the organizations who are funding these things want.
That's what they want. They want to take the bait.
Too much force too soon, so they can point and say, "Look at the fascist government." So you have to wait long enough where they start fucking it up on their own, and then you come in and clean up.
As Napoleon stated, never interrupt your enemy while they're in the process of destroying themselves.
Well, which is funny because, I was. If you guys
and
ever
even
heard
though
of,
Napoleon was the enemy, I just want to point out, don't like Napoleon.
No, but anyway. Hey, listen. Sometimes even the enemy makes a good point.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they always do because it's just like what happened with Nazi Germany. They thought they were in the right, and they had someone like the guy destroying an entire country, and that's exactly what he did.
Speaking of an enemy, I'm sorry, Shay. But speaking of an enemy of an enemy, or an enemy quoting an enemy, Preston Poulter, one of his favorite things to push on us as Comicsgate is to say like that. He quotes this one guy, I forget the guy's name, but he was like, I want to say he was a communist or a Nazi. But the saying is, always accuse your enemy of that of what you do, or that of what you're guilty of. Right? So, it's a great saying, but it was said by a communist, or I forget who said that off the top of my head. But
so this is one of my favorites. Right? You have writing comics says try paying taxes in Canada, right? And then you have Michael Beacon saying they do the same shit in Britain. So I was stationed in England for 4 years, right? I am not shitting you when I say that we had to have an agreement with the British government that said that they weren't going to charge us land tax. Okay, this is how shit their fucking taxes are in Britain. They charged the homeowner of the house that I rented for land tax because they owned the home. Got you. Cool. Property tax, same thing. Gotcha.
Right.
They then turned around and billed me for renter's tax for the same fucking plot of land. They tax the same.
That's the fucking racket is what that is.
No, don't get me wrong. The United States is doing something. I mean, it's not on a higher level as property, but they're doing the same thing. Like I've been in the restaurant business all my life. I've been manager, waiter, bartender, cook. In 2014, they passed a law. Like, all right, so I work. That's why a lot of restaurants in the country probably, you used to go into a restaurant, on the menu would say parties of 6 or more, we're going to add 18%, or we're going to add 20%, or a lot of restaurants got rid of that because the IRS decided, well, if you're going to tell people, especially if you do like private parties like I do now, like weddings and stuff like that, where like when you sign a contract, you sign it at a 20% or 22% service charge on top of whatever the cost is. If you're going to tell somebody what to pay, it's no longer a tip. It's no longer considered gratuity. It is now called a service charge, which is taxable income to the house, to the business, which means they get their tax. They're taxing the business. They're taxing. So now we have to charge sales tax on it. So they get their sales tax. The federal government gets their tax through the business, and then they charge us income tax. So they just triple dipped on the same amount of money.
Yeah. That's down here in the south. Down here in the south, they like I don't live in Georgia, but Georgia is where Dan lives, and they don't have state tax. And down here in Alabama, it's essentially the same thing, but they counterset that with. So I was standing in the DMV line, and a guy bought an RV, like a trailer pulled RV, a fifth wheel. I'll call it a fifth wheel because that's what it is.
Yeah.
He had to pay, and so our taxes are low in both areas, but for that RV that he had just bought, he had to pay $6,500 to register that RV, so he could put a tag on it. So he had to pay $6,500 fee to be able to get to the point to where he can put a tag on his RV so he can drive it on the road. And so if they get you like that too.
Oh, you guys are so I literally just came back and only heard that last little bit, but Maryland makes me laugh. So being military, you have a benefit where you can buy through military car sales overseas, right? When you do that, you can get American car tax free because you're overseas. It's one of the very few benefits you have for being military. I come to Maryland, and I'm not shitting you, tax title license, and they wanted to re-tax my fucking car because I didn't pay Maryland any sales tax for the car that I was driving on their streets. So you know what I did? Do you know what I did? I bought a plane ticket back to fucking Utah. I went back to my home of record and I tagged my car in Utah.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Were you still making payments on it? Were like you leasing it or financing it or something?
Yeah, I'm still paying on it. I'm paying on it through October.
That's probably why. I was gonna say like what if I showed up with my 2004 Ford Escape? Are they gonna make?
I am not shitting you. You show up to their state with your car. If you have not paid Maryland the tax for your car, the likelihood that you will be charged Maryland sales tax on your motherfucking car, regardless of if you've already paid it. They don't give a shit. You could have paid it to 20 other fucking places. They will charge you again.
That's ridiculous.
It is corrupt as shit.
It's so ridiculous.
It is the most corrupt system I've ever fucking seen. I argued with the lady and she was like, before you even get to the tax that you would owe us, you're already at $1,500 for a title and license in their fucking state and tax. And then they were like, your tax on your car is going to be like another $5,000. I was like, so I could go register this in Utah for like $150 to get tags, title, license, everything. And the woman literally went, I suggest if you have that connection, that's what you do. And I said, yeah, gotcha, thanks.
Jesus.
I'll go buy a ticket to go back home and see my parents.
I see Rob Romano's in the chat, and it just reminded me of something, being that I brought up Preston earlier. So there is some good news for CG today. Preston lost his trademark.
Well, we always knew he wasn't.
Yeah,
that's a damn shame.
Critias got his reinstatement and then put a letter of protest in, and he just yesterday was issued a letter of suspension on his on Preston was issued a letter of suspension on his filing.
He was gloating so hard there originally.
He even made a post today. With friggin' John Delarose's Robotoad, because it's got the logo all on the back cover.
Oh God!
So
something pride goes before a fall.
Yeah, he's not even acknowledging it. And his other one got denied because he has two. He has two going on it. What is that?
That would be my channel logo on the back of a jacket.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, so look, if I can manage to get us monetized without somehow getting struck, because who knows anywhere. If I can manage to, one of the first things I want to do with money is get these in 5-inch patches, because that's the level that we can do that will still have all of the detail through my guy, and he's fucking stellar. He's amazing. If you ever need patches, hit me up.
Do you have a friend who does do patches?
Patches.
I have so I went through this guy to try him, and his entire company was fucking phenomenal. They were really, really professional. They'll send you back the proof as many times as you want, so you can be as nitpicky as you want. I was like, so you have this letter as purple, but I need these other 3 letters to also be purple, and then it needs to fade to blue. And he was like, oh, okay. And he sends it back, and he's like, you're closer. That's not quite right. I need it to be like this. I was super nitpicky with this dude, and he was never like, this fucking bitch. Like, he was like, yeah, okay, is this closer? Is this what you're wanting? And when I finally was like, this is it, and he goes, so we're good to go to print? Are you sure? Are you happy with it? I was like, yeah, I think so. He sends it to me. It's fucking exactly what I wanted.
Hell yeah.
He's an amazing, it's called customonlinepatches.com. The dude I talked to's name was Tony. It totally sounds like I have a mafia connection. I'm telling you. Look, you talk to Tony, you tell him Shay sent you, okay? Hook you up.
Good care of you. Yeah, he hooks you up. Exactly.
No, for real though. He was like, if you refer anyone over to us, tell them to say that you're the one that referred them over. We'll give them a discount. So if you are interested in custom patches, you hit me up. I will send that shit over to you. They are epic. They are so good. I got sublimation dye for that fade in the background, which is really difficult to do, and they got a perfect like gradient in the background. They did a silver stitch for that sword, so it shines in the sun. It's so good.
Nice.
They're so good. And it's not because I'm drunk. They're actually really good. I just also happen to be drunk.
Just because I'm inebriated. Yeah.
That's just why I pee so much at this point. But it's really sad. I've had 4 of these now.
Is there a 5th one?
I got 5 and 6 in the fridge.
Go get them. Lord have mercy.
Let's see. I've got.
I opened a 2005 single malt whiskey for Dan Fraga and his stream getting canceled. Go get those last 2. Even though he's on Rakita's stream right now.
I know. Yeah. Nobody's hanging out on my stream anymore. I can get shit faced. It'll be fine.
There you go.
I'm sharing a screen.
It's fine.
I'm sharing a screen tab, Shay.
She went to go get alcohol.
Yeah, that may have been just the worst timing possible.
It's all right.
So, Death, Luke, when are you doing another? What are you doing another stream?
Stream. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been doing them randomly. Usually, I do them.
Your throat feel good? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I've been drinking, but it takes 3 to 4 days for your throat to heal. No gayness associated with it. So I think in like 2 more days you should do another one.
I probably will. Usually I go over and cook dinner for my grandma, and then I go out into the garage and belt it out because I've got a garage to that's where my green screen is.
I can only imagine what your grandma thinks while you're doing that.
She can't hear.
No, you got a good voice, bro. And
dude,
J Money was telling me you do the growls naturally. There's no effect.
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell on the one mic you put a little reverb and chorus on there to give it that like echo,
So
but you're not using a distortion or anything.
No, that was actually just to kind of even out the recording. I had 3 different audio tracks, and I used them to balance each other out because for some reason one of them didn't sound right, and then I don't know. Yeah, so I piecemealed that together. But yeah, no, there's no effects. That's all me.
Very cool.
Like, and when I do it live, I mean, I got nothing. It's just me and the green screen.
Well,
like,
I know.
I'm glad that OBS fucking works.
I know Shay, Gift, and I love the stream.
Yeah,
awesome. I appreciate you guys coming.
It's kind of wrong of you to assume his level of gayness, though.
It's because of Luke that I started growling and screaming in my car on the way to work, and I was like, dude, I might actually be able to do this. Like, I can't carry a fucking tune in a bucket, but I could probably scream a couple.
Well,
exactly
Luke, have you downloaded StreamYard? Or excuse me, have you made it a StreamYard's account yet?
I think I set one up. I was trying to use OBS with it, and I haven't quite figured out that bit yet.
Well, so it's unfortunate because when you use, I know Shay has a membership, so she doesn't have this silly duck in the corner. But I know you get 20 hours. You get 20 hours.
I can do this in the corner, or this. That's the better one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can change the avatar. Good.
Yeah.
What's the
Jason?
Oh, Jason.
Growls.
What is this? It's the trademark.
Yeah. So, I mean, you walked away, so now we're a couple of minutes behind. But
sorry, I had to pee and get drinks.
But yeah, so basically, this is the letter of suspension that was sent to Preston.
Sorry,
which is made public. So it reads, USPTO database search, prior filed potentially conflicting pending application. Now, Critias did put in a letter of protest, so that probably helped. And it says
nice.
The trademark...
Good, Critias.
The trademark examining attorneys searched the USPTO database of registered and pending marks and found no conflicting registered marks that would bar registration under the Trademark Section Act, blah, blah, blah. However, a mark in a prior filed pending application may bar registration for the applicant's mark. The pending application below has an earlier filing date or effective filing date than applicant's application. If the mark in the application below registers, the USPTO may refuse registration of applicant's mark under Section 2D because of likelihood of confusion with the registered marks. And then, what's going on here? The USPTO will, and then it just says the USPTO will periodically check the application to determine if that should remain suspended or not. Basically, that just means if Critias fucks up, then he can get it, but it doesn't look like Critias is gonna fuck up.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
You gotta love when people do stuff out of spite without any intention to actually do anything with it, and then they get it slapped away.
And then
that's what you get for being a petty fucking bitch. Like, don't be a petty bitch. It's real easy. You know. Like I said, the universe has a wicked sense of humor, Bob. Wicked sense of humor.
I like how Michael goes, writing your shit-eating grin literally, and then he goes, literally shit-eating grin. Like, he has to just make sure that we all understand.
Drive it in.
Thank you very much.
That's terrible, Mike. I love it. Oh.
But then here's the funny part. Let me just share this real quick. Because this was today. So that was the letter that was sent to him yesterday. And then today... Hold on. Today he posts this. Another one for the USPTO. You got denied, pal. What are you gonna send it? What are you sending it in for? Like, I don't get it. It's too funny. It's too funny.
You know, can I just say, like, I'm gonna be wholly honest. This has nothing to do with knowing anything else about Preston, right? Just his face alone, I kind of want to punch him really hard, multiple times.
It might be a little punchable.
Well, it might be the overly
thing.
smug look on his face.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's the fact that every time he's like, and every time I see that face, I'm like, oh my gosh, can you come to FanFest, please? Just come to FanFest.
Well,
I'm gonna go wear my 5-inch heels and meet you.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Careful, he might follow you home.
He can try. Here's the difference. Like, he's used to a dom that's gonna make him take some pegging, right? He tries to follow me home. I'm gonna throw him out my fucking car while it's moving. I'll let him in just so I can get up to speed to toss him out.
I'm not gonna say much in detail.
Okay.
Just keep an eye on my channel. Because in the next, I don't know, 5 to 7 days, I'm going to have a surprise interview on my channel.
Oh, no.
With somebody that I've been talking to for about 2 months.
No.
And I don't think Preston has been anywhere around someone like Shay.
No.
Clearly from unfortunate videos that we had to be shown by Yellow Flash.
Probably not
the
for like
umbrella
guy.
Wait, what happened?
People like me don't usually allow people like him in their circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I let people be in, and he doesn't make the mustard from the very beginning.
Not when he rolls his eyes behind his head like that.
I feel like I just really want, you know what you do a really good bitch slap, where you like rear all the way back with the full length of your arm and just as hard as you can with your shoulder twisted into it. I want to do that really, really bad. Like, I want him to stand there and be like, all right, I'm just going to measure this and we're all the way back and just straight up into your face.
Like, I'm sure that expression on his face is supposed to mean I'm so superior to you, but it looks more like I farted and you don't know it.
Oh no! It's supposed to
smell it. Yes, it does.
It's supposed to mean that I'm. It is supposed to mean that I'm superior to you. Trust me. When this stream happens,
like, I'm sure that's what he thinks that face looks like.
I already have in my. I mean, I wish I could play right now. I'm so drunk. I wanted to do it, but I already have videos that were sent to this person from him. Because they're going through something themselves right now. And yeah, he's just an arrogant, obnoxious fuck. And it does not paint. Yeah.
Just the okay, so there's a certain kind of mannerism, there's a certain kind of look that somebody holds, a way that they carry themselves. Luke and I have talked about this extensively. I'm a massive empath, right? So when I very first look at you, I'm picking up on all those tiny little nuances that tell me about you. And then I know how I should take you. I know where, like, what kind of guards you most likely have and all that kind of shit. I look at him and all I see is massive insecurity masked with pretending that he's in charge when he damn well knows it takes one person to be like, sit down, shut the fuck up. And he'll be like, yes, ma'am.
It's the same kind of vibe that like Ron Toye has.
Do not know him. I think probably for the better.
Yeah, from the Vic Mignogna thing. It's a lot of Nick stuff. A lot of Ricada stuff.
That one.
Yeah.
So Shay, you're an empath, but you said you're religious.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking. No, I'm curious. I'm curious because I'm pagan, and so I'm also an empath. But I'm.
Hey, Luke, Gift and I. No wonder why we like the same music.
I think it depends on your overall interpretation. So empath is, and I'm very, very attuned to how people are thinking and feeling and what they're actually going through. And when somebody tries to shine me on and say that they're one way when I can clearly see that they're another. And I think the biggest thing that I would kind of equate it to, so you have in Christianity, you have the gift of gab, right? Where people have this ability to reach people who otherwise are kind of unreachable.
Silver tongue.
Yeah. It's like that without the negative attributes that most people will put with it. So I have a way of getting through to people who otherwise seem like they're unreachable because I can put myself in their position and understand what they're going through and get them to realize that I'm not trying to shine them on. I'm genuine. So
never put yourself in any position Preston does.
That's easy.
Don't do it.
No, I get that because I mean I was brought up Catholic and you know went through like a crisis of theology. You know, went
as most people tend to. Yes.
I mean, Shay, when you say you're religious, do you mean Odin and Freya?
No, actually, Christian.
Oh, okay.
I know you would expect it, right?
I understood what she meant when she said that before. That's why I asked.
I know what she meant.
Some people, you know, they when they're into. Actually, Chaotic is also a Christian who believes in empathy and stuff like that. Because a lot of Christians won't. They'll chalk it off to like black magic and stuff like that. So that's why I was asking. Yeah.
So I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, so if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I think the fact that I am able to connect with people on such an emotional level and usually able to understand what a lot of people are going through without necessarily having been through the exact same thing myself, to me, that's a gift from God. That's not some witchcraft or black magic. That's something that I've been granted a very unique skill set that a lot of people don't possess.
Yeah, and I would think the same thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And that's always how I felt. Well, so the funny thing is I grew up in Utah, which is Mormon country, right? That's where a lot of this is the place happened. They didn't like me a lot because I questioned a lot. And then their answer was pray harder. And my answer was that doesn't answer my question. Like when you don't like what happens when I pray, because when I pray, God tells me, what does your heart say? My heart says, let me connect with people on a human level and not give a fuck what their background is.
So you want to hear how? So my theological journey was kicked off by the most ridiculous, childish thought process ever. But I thank myself for having it at the time. I was like 14 or 15. Me and my buddy actually were. And we had like, you know, love horror stuff, you know, like everything horror. Like we were talking earlier with, you know, art and showing like all the werewolf stuff and stuff. So my buddy always had this thing with like werewolves and I always had a thing with vampires. So we were like, we want to be werewolves and vampires. We're 14 years old. You know what I mean? Like we don't, but we were brought up. I mean, you know, I was brought up Catholic. He's Irish Catholic. You know, I'm Italian and Irish Catholic. So we're praying, you know, and nothing's happening. Right. So we're like, well, maybe it's not a big enough thing for God to grant, you know, like why would he want to make somebody a vampire and a werewolf, right? So,
right. That might be outside of his scope of giving a fuck.
Right. So we're like, but we're like, if God's real, that means the devil's real. So the devil would be cool with that, right? So
my God.
we switched, right? But I know it sounds ridiculous, but this is how like a lifelong journey of like studying religions kicked off because of this 14-year-old stupid quest to become a vampire. And
that's so funny though.
It's honestly, it's kind of sweet in its naivete. And I personally, I appreciate it.
So like we pray and like nothing happens. Well, we're like, well, if God didn't answer and the devil didn't answer, that means nothing exists, right? So of course we become atheists. For like 2 years, we're hardcore atheists to like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
And he stayed an atheist. He's still an atheist to this day. Me, about 17 or 18, I kind of went like agnostic. I was like, well, there's something going on here, and I can't put my finger on it. And from there, I literally started getting into like looking up like different religions. So I started with what I knew. Let's go with Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism. I started getting into certain philosophies, Taoism, stuff like that. Got in, and then I started going even further. Like I went past that. What else was I familiar with? Okay, let's look at the Greek and Roman mythologies. Let's look at Egyptian mythology, which led me into nature religions, and then pre-Christianity religions, and that's why I say pagan, because the nice thing, everyone's like, well, what kind of paganism? Are you Wiccan? Are you this? Are you that? And I'm like, the beauty thing about paganism is like you can take everything that you've learned and that makes sense to you and kind of make your own. You know?
Hey, Gift, do you follow Survive the Jive?
I'm sorry, say one more time.
Do you follow Survive the Jive on YouTube?
No. Should I?
Yes, you should.
I will look into it.
It's literally in its proper spelling, Survive the Jive.
Proper spelling?
It's Thomas Roswell, and he is essentially a scholar on Indo-Europeans. And the Indo-European, especially because he's from the Isles. So me specifically, I'm a Norman Isleman. So my heritage is ancient Vikings, but I'm essentially Norman, and I'm from the Isles. And Survive the Jive will help you understand haplogroups and migration routes. And with everything that I just heard you said, I think you would enjoy that quite a bit.
Yeah. One of my favorite books is on Nordic.
Because everyone likes to think that, like, so me, I'm essentially 33% Isleman, which I'm 33% of my blood is from Ireland and Britain, and 33% of my blood is from Normandy, which at the time was Gaul, and the rest of my blood is from Norway. And so Jutland is where it's actually from, and so with everything that I just heard you say, yeah, exactly. So someone Survived the Jive, Thomas Roswell, is extremely educated on things that I think that you may like.
Yeah, I'll check it out, man. Absolutely. I'm more of a studier than a practitioner. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sitting here doing like pagan rituals and spells or anything.
So I'll be honest with you.
I could, but I don't, you know.
So on my desk, because I'm reading a couple of books right now. One of them I'm reading about is so I won't even get into that. So one of the last books that I just bought is The Barbarian Conversion from Paganism to Christianity. And I also bought a book called Thermopylae, The Battle That Changed the World. And I've read a little bit, so I'm trying to finish the one book that I got. It's like 700 something pages. But the Barbarian Conversion's a little over 500 pages, and the Thermopylae book is just a little over 200 pages. And both of them, just you know, like you read the first little cover slip of the hardcover book, and then you read the first couple pages, you're like, man, this is some knowledge right here. And so, the Barbarian Conversion is a very interesting book to read.
Yeah, I'll show you real quick.
So this is one of my favorite things. When it comes to religion, I think that religion is man trying to understand something that is greater than themselves, which is why we have so many different types. And there are certain things that resonate better with certain people. at the end of the day, whatever it is that brings you closer to your form of God, whatever it is that brings you closer to being a good human being and believing in something that is much greater than yourself, that is what's important. Whether it's paganism, whether it's Christianity, whatever the fuck it is. As long as it's something that helps inspire you to be a better person and bigger than what you are, that's what you should be following.
Well, absolutely. Not to trivialize anybody's beliefs, but the one thing I learned over studying everything is the golden rule.
Right.
They're all telling you the same thing.
Right?
Yeah. So behind all my Marvel and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, there's all those books up there. I got all this different stuff on witchcraft and this, and then over here.
Dig those shelves, man. Those floating shelves look great.
The shelves are awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, your whole room is like what I hope my room looks like eventually.
This is my living room.
I love it. It's
nice. I'm in my living room as well.
I agree. Yes, social distance warrior. Be and do your best every day. I agree. Yep, whatever your best is, do that. For real.
Yeah, but like I said, basically every religion is teaching you like just do unto others as you've had done to you. That's basically every religion is what they're telling you.
Well, and if I'm going to be honest,
I said earlier, don't be an asshole.
Everyone's got something just slightly wrong. I think that there's certain places, like it's all from the same trunk and we all are different branches and every branch has its own how far away from the trunk it's gone kind of thing. But whatever it is that reconciles it for you, as long as it's not fucking up somebody else's like ability to live or love, as long as you're not causing harm to another person, like what does it really matter? It really doesn't.
The way I look at religions, a lot of them are very, very similar. I mean, some of them kind of like are like way off from another, but for the most part, they're mostly really similar. Same stories, same different names.
There's a through line.
Yeah, to me, it was like religion. I think back then was like the biggest game of like the grapevine. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just the same story told, and then people moved, and then
you had so many people
moved. Yeah.
So many people tried to profit off of it. So many people had nefarious motives for what they were pushing out there, and I think that's where things got fucky, right? But when you have people that are genuinely like, I'm just trying to be a good person, I'm just trying to do something good and put out good in the world, like, you know what, if that's what you're trying for and that's what you're working on, then good on you. You're good in my book. I don't give a fuck what your religion is. I really don't.
Exactly.
But the second you start infringing on someone else's, once you start infringing on someone else's rights, like their livelihood, their ability to live, that's when you're fucked up, and that's when I have a problem with you. And that goes across the board. I have fellow Christians that I'm like, you know what, when I was a practicing Mormon, right? I was a Jack Mormon. If you don't know what a Jack Mormon is one that is not Mormon enough, and therefore we are bad Mormons, right? We're Mormons that question. We're Mormons that don't just go with the status quo because somebody told you to. I asked questions, and therefore I was a bad Mormon.
He's a redheaded Mormon.
Well, I always said
are dangerous.
I was never a great Catholic. I'm not a great pagan either.
And the way that I look at it is, are you honestly trying to be a good person?
Yeah, you're pragmatic.
At the end of the day, we're in this realm, in this life, you're not going to attain the level of God. You're not going to understand him completely. He is beyond this.
Ain't nobody get out alive.
Whatever be it.
And being that we're on religion, one of my favorite bar signs, I don't have it on right now because I can't reach it, but
oh, hold on, I gotta blow you up. Saints and Sinners Lounge, check your
That couldn't be more true.
This is what makes me laugh, because I've had so many people that were like, well, if you were really spiritual. So here's the funny thing, right? I've got this on my wrist. The reason I have this on my wrist is because at the time that I got this, there were a lot of Christians that were being persecuted simply for their faith, and they were being told, if you won't denounce your faith, right, then I'm going to shoot you in the head and send you to your Holy Father. If you do denounce your faith, I'll shoot you in the leg. And so my answer to that was, fuck you. I'm going to go get a tattoo. And the second somebody says, are you Christian? I'd be like, really? It's right here. It's in one of the most visible places I could get it because I'm military. I can't put it on my face. I wouldn't do that anyway, but right. I can't get it on like my neck or face. My wrist is one of the most visible places I can put it. I won't denounce that I'm Christian. And if you decide that that's enough for me to be killed over, then okay. I guess that's what we're going to do. But I'm not going to denounce my faith because you want to be a bully, essentially.
So I'm looking at Luke. Luke, would you like to say anything?
I'm just listening, man.
So this is something that makes me laugh too. The upside down cross and how people like to say, oh, upside down cross is anti-Christian. It actually isn't. I can't remember right now the saint, but there was a saint who got crucified upside down.
Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah, that was Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. You guys know this better than I do.
He was the last one.
I always forgot.
How I grew up.
Yeah, he was chilling. He was chilling on an island, and then all his happiness got taken from him.
Mm-hmm.
See, and this is how I look at it: is
they like dip him in oil too, or something like that?
Man, they messed that dude up.
Dude.
They fucked him up.
The shit they try to do to knock people down a peg and to get them to lose their faith is just beyond me. The way that I look at it is, as long as you're a good person, I don't care what you believe. Be a good person. Put good out in the world. Believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. Because at the end, none of us are wholly right. All of us are at least a little bit wrong. It's man trying to understand something well beyond us.
My wife is teaching my young 2 daughters what I like them to be taught. I'll say that. And I quite enjoy. I completely agree with what you say, and but I know my bloodline far exceeds that of others, and I will go with what existed before.
Yeah.
That's the way I'll put it.
Yeah, but as far as the upside down cross, like you said, it was just appropriated by. I hate using that term now, especially nowadays with like the whole cultural appropriation.
Right.
But,
I get what you're saying, though.
But it was appropriated by like say the Satanists because of Saint Peter. It's in the same way that they're not
so fucking pretentious. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it was like it was appropriated in the same manner like Nazis appropriated the swastika from Buddhists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the Iron Cross from Vikings, and
that is precisely. They take all good symbols, just like the OK sign. The OK sign is literally the modern day example of what they've done.
Oh, that was a joke. Symbol. That was a 4chan
joke. So it may have been on the 4chan is where it created, but like back in the day, just what they did with the 2 examples y'all used. There was a starting point, and it got completely switched in history.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the nice, proper symbols that were just A-OK, all of a sudden, you weren't allowed to show them anymore, and you weren't allowed to speak of them anymore.
Right.
Chaotic neutral.
Well,
and the tiny mustache.
So if you go back to if you really want to go back to, and I honestly, Sai's gonna get back and be like, the fuck happened to this stream? I'd be like, shh, just don't ask questions. It's fine. If you want to go back to Hitler and the whole idea of him taking the swastika and him taking the Iron Cross and all that kind of stuff that he took, right? There's a reason he took it. He took it because they were impactful symbols within already established religions and faiths.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way for him to further a Nazi agenda was to take something that was already readily recognizable, relabel it, and say that this is something that now stands for this other meaning.
And now we're dealing.
Also all about the occult. Like he had people researching that shit because he believed that was what they were going to use to win World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were extremely occultish.
But I mean, if you think about it, people have been doing that, for centuries. I mean, not to throw shade at any religions, but I mean, Christianity did the same thing with nature religions when they tried to convert, peasants and pagans into. Yes.
Well, that's why they co-opted all their fucking holidays.
And they cut down Odin's tree, and then they so like all the Gothic churches are built on ancient burial grounds are the most prestigious grounds that existed in the cultures back then. And so, just to give an example, Notre Dame, whatever you want to call it, is on one of the most ancient Seine River Celtic burial grounds. And almost all of that. So my sister is redheaded, pure redhead, and I'm not, because you know how sometimes when you have a brother and sister, your genes are completely different from yourself. So my sister is like straight redhead. So imagine the Western Indo-European countries from Gaul all the way to the steppe with nothing but redheads and Proto-Germanics and Indo-Germanics. Yeah, and they wiped us out. And what they did is they took over all the trade routes.
Too fucking pretty, that's what.
Yeah, they took over all the mines. That's what they did with the Isles, what they took over with the tin mines. And then in Indo-European, which is Aryan nations, they took over all the copper mines. They took over all the gold mines. They took over all the iron mines. They took over all over of the river routes. They had a complete and utter monopoly on the river routes. And then next thing you know, the Italians from Italy have a complete and utter control of the Indo-European rivers. Mm-hmm. And they've had control ever since then, just like they do today. So, and it's just, so what they do is it's what it is. It's just commodities, which is oil, corn, soybeans, etc., and then the trade routes that controls the trade of those commodities. And those dudes control the same shenanigans. They control the same routes with the same shenanigans that they used back then.
See, and this is what bothers me about religion and how it is within the like geopolitical climate, is the way that it ends up going is religion becomes weaponized. And it's if you're a true Christian, if you're a true pagan, if you're a true atheist, because atheism, whether you like it or not, and I used to have arguments for months on end with my British friends. Atheism is every bit as much a religion as any other religion out there, because you have to agree in a way that you cannot prove to a Christian that there is no God. You have just as much faith in that as a Christian has that there is one. So until you can prove it without faith having to be in it. There are
certain things in the universe you can't quantify.
Exactly. Right. And so regardless of what your religious background is, when people take that and they weaponize it in order for geopolitical gain, that is when I start having a massive issue. And that's why I don't like government in marriage, because marriage has nothing to do with the government. Who you spend the rest of your life with, really? Who gets to make end of life decisions on you? There's people in my family that would be granted that right that I'm like, abso-fucking-lutely not. Like, if I understand that I have to make a will to say, at no point in time can my crazy fucking aunt decide whether or not that plug gets pulled if she's the last remaining relative I have. Like, no, do not give that to her. Give it to my 10 friends over here who are going to make a much more sound decision than my psycho aunt, right? And the fact that that is where the government will default, and that's what they do. They take religion and they weaponize it against people, and they decide like, oh, well, if you're really Christian, X, Y, and Z is what has to stand. No, government has nothing to do with religion. Religion is something between you and whatever spiritual entity you want to call it. Has nothing to do with anybody else in this plane, period. And I hate that government takes it.
I think it's sad what Michael Beacon just said about the Seven Legions comic.
Are you talking about the Samurai Clan?
Yeah, because it was also the swastika wasn't just Buddhist. It was
get some sleep.
And a lot of Asian.
It was in Japanese culture.
Japanese culture.
Yeah, I remember reading what was it, Sword of the Immortal, the manga, and there had to be a note at the beginning of it that hey, this is a swastika. Yes, Nazis co-opted it, but this was around long before, so that's why it's on this dude's jacket.
The reason Nazis co-opted is because Hitler,
when he looked at it, moving forward,
he 1,000% recognized. He recognized the implication behind it and the power that
he was trying to steal the fucking magic of it. It's a sigil. It's a sigil. Yeah. It has power.
All the
trying to co-opt it.
All the swastika is a it's the North Star is the center, and it's the 4 seasons that happen with the Big Dipper. It's literally astrological, and they've taken it. So it's like Zoroastrianism. So
but
back
like
in the
Luke
days,
said, it's a symbol of prosperity.
yeah, and what it is, it's the 4 seasons that changed because the Big Dipper turns on the North Star, and so. And the same thing happened with Zoroastrianism and why it was completely eliminated in the steppe in Persia / Iran. Iran was the one who essentially started astrology almost 4,000 years ago because they lived in the desert and it's essentially just as bright at night as it is during the day.
Yeah.
And that's completely wiped out of common knowledge today, and hardly anyone in Iran or Iraq or the steppe, which is Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and all those other areas, they don't know nothing about what was 4,000, 5,000 years of their history. And now you got this New Age nonsense, which teaches...
it's so fucking shallow.
Yeah, dude, you have it's so disappointing. It's disappointing.
This goes down to anything, though. If you look at any major iconography throughout history, there's certain symbols that hold a certain amount of power or sway over a large group of people, that if you can co-opt that and you can change the meaning of that, you can effectively brainwash an entire group of people to follow you into whatever fucking bullshit agenda you're gonna push. And the way that they do it is they start small. They don't come straight out with a swastika and go, yo, Nazism. Because everyone's like, well, no, that sounds terrible. They start really, really small, and they start at a very young age, and they start making this shit normal, and they start growing it, and they start perpetrating this throughout society until eventually, and it's something that if you pay attention to, it's something that we're seeing right now. It's the fact that you can't talk about LGBTQ anything unless you are ingrained in the community, and then to be ingrained in the community, you have to be ingrained and marginalized within the community, which means that you can't be white. You have to be a specific sect within this community in order for you to have a public opinion on it.
From each other if we can't talk about it? How are we supposed to learn from one another if we can't have an honest conversation where we talk about the things that make us different? Why? What fucking world do we live in that we can't
actually? If they wanted us to learn from each other, they wouldn't constantly be saying "educate yourself."
Yeah.
Right, but they don't.
They push us away from each other on purpose.
They want an echo chamber, is what they want. Because if they isolate everybody,
if they isolate you, then you're alone. Then they can bully you into stepping in line.
Exactly. They isolate everybody away from strong personalities and from logic and reason and from people who can have back and forth like we've been having here. We have 6 people that have drastically different views on everything. And we've all kind of put in our little bits of P's and Q's here and there, and they don't fully align, but we can talk and we can come to agreements and we can see other viewpoints, even if we don't agree with them. And it doesn't turn hostile. But that in of itself, that's toxic.
Or just sane.
Well, I'm not like hugely into a lot of hip hop stuff, but there's a guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, Thomas McDonald.
Have not, no.
Check him out. He's like the Kid Rock white trash version of Eminem.
Okay.
And he's got my alley. He's got a song. He's got no record label. He made it all off of YouTube, and he's got a song called "White Boys." And I mean, he's definitely center left, but he sees things I think a lot like a lot of normal people would. And, and in it, he basically talks like, "Who are you to say that I can't have an opinion on this?" You know.
Right. Well, and I think that this is one of the big issues is we're telling so many people who can and can't have an opinion on certain issues, who can and can't voice certain things, who can and can't discuss whatever. If we're going to be honest, it's America. Every person can have an opinion on anything, period. I don't give a shit what your background is. I don't care what you've been through, because you know what? What you've been through, Dark Gift, and what I've been through, that's not the same.
Different things. Yeah.
Right. What Wolverine's been through and I've been been through, those are entirely different worlds. So you know what? I welcome Wolverine to come and say, well, I understand that you're hardline on this subject, but have you ever considered this, this, and this?
Have you ever considered ass titty?
Right?
Yes.
And yes, I have extensively, by the way. I'm pro ass titty. Thank you very much. But that's
Who
the thing is, the only way for you to grow is to come up against people who don't fully share a complete copy of whatever your beliefs are. And
this is why I like my circle of friends.
Right.
Because they believe different things. They question me. They check me.
And how many, Luke, how many
Although
times
preferably they aren't stupid. That
how
helps.
many times have you and I sat and had conversations for hours? We've had conversations for hours where it's like, well, this is what I think. Well, no, this is how I see it. This is how this is different. And we'll go back and forth. And at no point in time is there any animosity. Neither one of us are like, you know what? Fuck you, you asshole. You're a horrible piece of shit. Both of us are like, oh, I hadn't considered that. That's interesting. This is what I see. And, oh shit, that's a different view. I hadn't seen that before.
I feel like that comes from having an intelligent, hungry mind. Because I'm learn.
Yes, and that's how you grow as a person.
Although, why do I feel there's still that you piece of shit?
I mean, there always is, but that's really just a me thing. Everyone I communicate with is, listen here, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
There's always that behind everything else, you know.
I mean, I'm a 6'1" redheaded female. What do you expect? It's
like the chocolate syrup. You need that to make it better.
Right. I put look, and this is something I say like without jokes. This is something I say to everybody: is what you see with me on these channels. That's literally what I am. I don't put on
a real and get the fuck out. That's my philosophy.
I think that's
I'm too old
why
to
all
play,
of us
play parts.
I think that's why all of us like Dan because
yes,
yeah,
Dan is genuine.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we just get attracted to it, and it's what we like, and it's what we want to be around.
That's because so much in this world is fake as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, is it really that hard to be real? Is it really that hard to be yourself? Like, be real.
A lot of people don't know who the hell they are, so they can't be themselves.
So let me give you an example. I used to back in the day. I used to sell beds. I would sell some damn expensive beds to some wealthy people. But anyway,
expensive.
And yeah, bro. And so a couple times, especially because I used to work in the busier stores. I worked for Sleepy's / Mattress Firm before Mattress Firm bought Sleepy's. And but Sleepy's was a New York company that ran itself down the East Coast. And I would have in busier stores you would have 2 to 3 salesmen. In the slower stores you would have 1. And so usually I was in the busier stores because I was the area manager. And so area manager is just a manager who is around, who is in control of the inventory of 2 or 3 stores, but you're also kind of like the manager. So I had the code if someone needed a code, stupid shit like that. But I had a friend, I don't want to call him a friend. I say a friend, but I had a buddy with me. So this guy, so I've been married my whole life and I've always been with ladies my whole life and I have children. But he is completely the polar opposite of me. And so when we're sitting down in our downtime, he would tell me all these articles he would read about how to attract women and the things that he can do and say for women. And it is the weirdest stuff in the world because he was essentially explaining to me how he has to change who he is so he can be around women and talk with them. And I'm just like, hey, man, just, be yourself. And so what you guys are saying is precisely the polar opposite of what this man was, because he would spend hours a day and try to figure out how he can make relationships with women. And he would try to, it was the strangest thing in the world because I played baseball, I played football, I did Olympic weightlifting in school all the way in my middle 20s. So I was always around dudes who would just do physically demanding things and they would talk shit with each other. And then all of a sudden I'm in a showroom with all these beds and this guy's explaining to me, because he's been single for 4 or 5 years, of what it is that he studied of how he can get women. And it's just, and in my brain, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Hey guys, as a woman, I like to think that I actually have a unique perspective on this particular topic.
Oh, dude,
I'm just gonna throw that out there. I might understand how
Color
to get
me
women.
intrigued.
Do you want to know how you get women?
Be an
Stop
asshole.
fucking trying
Yeah.
so motherfucking hard, okay?
Be a person.
Just be your fucking self. Do you know how many times I have heard, damn, I want to climb her like a tree? Okay, do you know how many times that's ever worked?
I didn't think you could hear that when I said that.
Exactly 0.
I've never heard that.
Oh, you never heard that about a tall girl?
Are you tall, Shay?
Yes, I'm 6'1".
Holy shit! All right, well,
I'm 6'1" and I wear heels. So when I go walking around, people are like, "Damn, I'm gonna climb that girl like a tree," and I was like, "Bitch, you'd fall and hit every ugly branch on the way down." And they go, "Oh, it's like that, is it?" I'm like, yeah.
Although at 5'6", you have to admire the tenacity.
It's always the short ones. It's always the short ones, and then the other thing I get is, "Hey, baby girl, why don't you bring those long legs over here?" Those are always the 50 and over. I don't know what it is. I get 50 and over, and I get 20-somethings that don't know no better. Those are the two that I get. I don't get a respectable person who's like, "You seem like a lovely lady. I'd like to take you out for dinner." I've had that one time in my life.
Well, an appropriate flirt.
The entirety of my life, I had one person who ever came up to me and was like, "You seem like a really interesting person and you're very beautiful. I would be honored to take you out to dinner." One man has ever said that to me, and I am telling you, to this fucking day, I remember every instance of that moment. And all I can say is, "I'm so sorry, I'm in a committed relationship," when he actually said it. And I was like, I feel so bad because I actually kind of want to go to dinner with you. You seem like a really nice person.
Modern society's got chivalry in the back of the head behind the bar, and 2 decades
If you
ago.
want to pick up on a girl, the way to pick up on a girl is don't be a fucking thirsty dickhead, okay? My sister-in-law is on Tinder. Do you know how many messages she gets? Is just literally the first interaction with her is DTF. No, she is not. She is not down to fuck your ass, okay? Go away. Why the hell are you asking her DTF?
Do you only have time to hit 3 fucking letters? Probably no.
This is why dating sites are no good, right? Because you got the two opposite ends of the spectrum, right? They're overwhelmingly, the base population on these dating apps and sites are men, right? So the women are automatically just getting flooded with the assholes. And for the dudes who are really nice, you got to try to break through that without sounding like an asshole, but still try to catch their attention somehow. It's like a no-win situation.
Seriously. Do you want to know
No, but it's a no-win situation on these sites. It's a no-win situation.
This is what I'm telling you. Consider that 90% of the interactions of any woman on a dating site is, "Here's my dick. Do you want to fuck me?" Because that's usually what they get, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
If you come at a girl with, you seem rather interesting, I would like to take you to dinner, you are probably going to score some pretty big fucking points by not being a creep, okay? "You seem rather interesting and you're quite beautiful. I would love to take you to dinner." Bam! Done. You got
right, no, but what I'm saying is, if a girl gets 10 of those, out of those 10 that are really genuine dudes, you have to now somehow you have to not be as big of a dick as the guy sending dick pics, but you have to still be somewhat more charismatic than the other 10 normal dudes.
Oh yeah, you can't be a soy boy that's like, "Hello, my goddess. You seem like the most amazing thing that has ever
right."
So I have a devil's advocate for that. I have a devil's advocate. So my wife has a friend. Well, she's I don't know. We haven't talked in a while. Me specifically with her, but she was a nurse practitioner in her early 20s, and she would not date a man who did not have a profile on a dating site.
Ew.
So she had to see his credentials before she would even consider talking to the person in real life. And because my wife, her and I, we've been together since high school, and I'm almost 40. And in my brain, that is the strangest thing in the world. I mean, granted, her and I have separated a couple times in the last 20 or 30 years, or excuse me, 20 or 25 years we've been together. But it's I don't as Giff said, the dating sites are the worst thing that the internet has ever created. I agree with that.
Dating sites are pretty terrible because I feel like it's a lot of people trying to like pretend that they're something that they're not in hopes that they're gonna somehow find the one and then trick them into I'm also the one for you.
The only reason I actually maintain any profiles on dating sites is every once in a while it's amusing for about a half an hour to scroll through
Oh Christ, we're still on
the accounts and just be horrified.
Buckle up, okay, Luke?
Like, you want me to believe that you're 30 years old and you look older than my fucking mother.
No, are you ready for this?
Cool. Fuck it in the face with the chainsaw.
This is how good dating sites are. This is my favorite thing ever. My most favorite story. Are you ready?
Fucked up enough
hold on.
this.
We got to see pretty art first. Pretty art is better than this story.
Yes.
Love it.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck, Jason. Seriously. Love it.
If we're sharing art, can I share art?
Yeah, you want to share art? Share art. Let's do this.
I don't have any of the drawings in front of me, but I have my art book in front of me. Hold on.
Oh, what are you sharing screen for? What is this?
Oh, that was just the dude. I threw it up there if he wanted to listen to it, but we kind of went away from the topic. So,
okay, I'm not going to put that up because it says white boy, and I'm just going to assume it's going to be horribly offensive.
No, it's actually not.
Okay.
But, yeah. But, we've kind of gone past the topic, so I'll stop sharing that. Yeah.
That's fair.
No, but definitely go check out Tom McDonald. Like, he's got a song called White Boy, which is basically like we were saying, how, like, as especially like a single white male, you have, like, no opinion on anything, right? And then he's got another one called Politically Incorrect. Both those songs are pretty good.
I'm already down just by the titles alone. Like, I'm already happy.
Yeah, then... I mean, like I said, they're hip hop, but he's pretty good. He's like,
dude, I love hip hop. I'm picky with my hip hop, but if my hip hop has lyrics that mean something, I'm down. Like, I love NF because he talks about his fucking psycho mental issues and stuff. Like, I love it.
So you like Tech Nine?
I haven't actually listened to Tech Nine, dude. Yes.
Awesome. Didn't Tech Nine die?
No, Tech Nine.
Not that I heard.
What's that rapper that has a similar name?
That's awesome, man.
I love it.
Whose art is that?
That's mine.
Dude.
It's my art book. It's my art book. I have it on Lulu.com.
Oh, okay. I've seen that Freddy Krueger somewhere.
I'm gonna say
Malin and Anna critiqued it like a year ago, and actually it was one of their more lenient critiques. They basically, on the original drawing, I actually cropped it because it's all pencil.
Did EBS ever do it?
No, but it's all pencil, and like on the original drawing, where am I here? The page goes like further this way, so there was like a lot of open space.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like I would have, they just basically said I would have made that tighter, filled in that space and stuff. It was actually one of the more less
harsh
reviews that I've seen them do.
Here's $1 million question: have you sent it to Tug to show Lug? Because those are her boys, right?
I didn't. I knew she liked horror, but I didn't know she was like specific.
So Lug says that her best friend is Jason, and that Freddie is jealous because her best friend is Jason.
Well, it's funny because I originally did the Freddie drawing, right?
Yeah.
And then all my friends who were like, I love both, but I'm a diehard Freddy Krueger fan. So I did the Freddie with the small Jason.
Yes.
And then I posted it on Facebook, and all my friends, that they were all like, "Dude, what about Jason? Why is he so small?" Like all my friends who were like diehard Jason fans. So I was like, "All right, fine." Like the next day, I posted that one.
So literally, I've had Lug come on my show and do story time, and it is the cutest fucking thing I've ever heard, because she was talking about going to the park and Jason was there and they were BFFs and they were going and hanging out, and then Freddie was there and he was sad because Freddie wasn't her BFF. And so then they had to go and bring Freddie into their group to kind of be like, it's okay, Freddie, you can be with me and Jason. And I was like, this chick is 6. This is a 6-year-old little girl. And she's like, Freddie's not my best friend because he's got those scissor finger things and I don't like them.
That girl is clever.
Okay, if you've never heard Love Story Time, I'm telling you right fucking now, you are absolutely missing out because she came on my channel and this is how she goes. Tug goes, do you want to tell story time? And she goes, well, yeah. And then she comes out, she goes, it was a dark and spooky night. And I was like, I'm in. Whatever you're selling, kid, I'm in. I'm done. How much money can I throw at you? This is amazing. And she went on for probably at least like between 5 and 10 minutes of telling this story that she had made up. And like Tug was like, oh yeah, well, were they scary people? She goes, no, they weren't scary. And she was like going off on this whole like, how could you be so dumb, Dad? And I'm just telling you right now, if you haven't seen it, go watch on Red Valkyrie, go watch The Littlest Umbrella. Another case for The Littlest Umbrella, because at the very end she gives us a lug story time and it's the cutest fucking thing you will ever hear on the internet. Period.
It is lovely.
Does Tug have a P.O. box?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
I'll send her pens.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna love you. No idea. Okay, Dark Gift, I'm gonna get with you after this, and we're gonna that's happening. Lug is gonna have a fucking heart attack.
I if you don't mind, it's up to you. You don't have to if you're not, but I put the link to my art book in the private chat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hold on, wait, let me get this shit, because I'm down for this art book. Oh, wait, I gotta get the K, though.
It's a comic book size, so.
How is Lulu? I've seen a couple of people use Lulu. How is that?
It's good. I mean, if you're just looking to get something out there, they offer all different types of paper quality, black and white, color, obviously, stuff like that. Different sizes, different what you call it, landscape portrait. Oh wow, nice, dude. That's awesome.
Oh shit! Hold on. Oh, pretty stuff. Pretty bloody stuff. I love it.
Very cool.
I'm definitely disturbed. There's something wrong with me. Okay, hold on. I gotta show pretty stuff too, because this is down. Absolute Valkyrie. I'm too drunk. I'm sorry, guys. This came from. This also came from Jason. I'm just saying. And this is going on my wall because I'm there. Like I said, there's something wrong with me.
Jay next to me did that.
Yeah.
Oh
nice,
yeah.
That's very nice.
Nice, man.
We did a thank you, and I put it on the back because I wanted it, so I could always remember it. And he signed it with his fucking badass.
That's an embellished print. The original is actually 18 by 24.
I love it though.
And I like to work big sometimes. If you hold on one second.
But yeah, that's the only way to get the detail you want.
As far as Lulu goes, while he's getting that, it gives you two options. You could either do print on demand and sell it right on their site, and then if you get qualified, you can get global distribution, which means they'll sell it through other sites like Amazon and stuff like that, which I was accepted for, but I haven't seen it land on Amazon just yet. Or you could just do bulk runs where you order X amount of copies and then sell it like on your website or something,
Dude.
That's insane, man.
Nice,
I can't see. This is why you have to go back absolute. Are you kidding me? Like,
Link is in the chat, y'all.
Is insane.
Well, this isn't done yet, but
It doesn't matter. It's better than I could do after a year of working on something.
That reminds me of like.
Yes. Okay.
Hell, I mean, if I can figure out this screen share thing, I can show you a couple pages I've been working on. I'm trying to prove to myself I can do this.
You can do it.
I need Luke's pipe right now.
I kind of lost my drawing muse about 15 or so years ago.
Damn.
So I've been trying
traditional
to
superhero
pull
thing.
it back.
Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta pee again. Terrible.
Okay, let's see if this shit works.
Oh, she's going to the bathroom, so you got time.
Yeah. I gotta go take pills anyway, so I'll be right back.
Word. Intermission time. Hey, Luke, what type of tobacco do you have in that pipe there?
I'll stop this until she gets back.
Something I got on a shop downtown. It was it's kind of got like a hint of vanilla.
So it's actually tobacco?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, shit, all right.
This time.
I know.
This time.
the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, every so often I gotta change it up, you know. What up, Squish Show? I see you.
My old buddy, when I lived in Virginia, we would. His dad was a captain of a refuel ship in the Navy, so they had a pretty decent backyard, and we would just sit on the swing, and we would, as long as we were smoking out the pipe, man, his dad would never even come walking towards us. It was the fucking greatest shit in the world.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got this one. I guess maybe about 6 years ago at a shop down in Orlando when I was living down in Orlando. I was watching Lord of the Rings. I was like, you know what? I need a straight pipe.
Yeah, Gift. Is that the only thing you have in print right now? I didn't even realize you had that.
It's the only thing that I've put out. I did the ash can for Mandy's project. So if you backed her Wart the Wizard, you got my ash can. I had
right. Okay. Cool. That's cool, man. There's just so many streams nowadays. I miss so many. It's unfortunate.
It's impossible to keep up. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. And I see Gift all everywhere, and of course Luke and Wolverine. I feel like I see you in the chat, but I don't think I've seen you on streams.
No, I haven't popped up before.
Yeah. But you are in a couple of chats.
You popped up shirtless here.
It's all for your pleasure, really.
Oh, thank you, hon.
Being yourself.
This was out of my wheelhouse. I tried to keep it because it's a kid's book, so I tried to do the ash can in a kid's book, but like because there's a lot of Comicsgate references in here, so like
how does this work?
That's Captain Caesar.
Right.
With a little frog on his shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
And the Queen Andrea. So it's not really my style, but I tried to keep it, similar. So
kid friendly,
And when I did this, everybody was still getting along. So there's the Warriors of Campaign.
Oh my goodness.
You see Ro? You see how small he is?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. Oh God.
John Malin.
Oh wait, he doesn't have eyebrows, right? Did you do him appropriately?
I even
that about works. Yeah.
I even make the joke. He goes, "Wow, you don't have any eyes." And then Cecil, and the squirrel's name is Cecil. The squirrel says, how did I word it? He goes, really? The guy with no eyes is going to point out the lack of eyebrows on the man with the big axe?
So I did a hand turkey of Malin, and I was actually quite happy with myself because I did dotted lines for where the eyebrows should be. So I did a hand turkey, and on the face I was like dot 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 dot, and I was like, this is where eyebrows would be if Malin happened. I gave him a fucking beanie because that's what I do is shitty fucking hand turkeys. I'm still waiting for Dan. He said he was gonna put him up on his wall. So where his clock is, above that is supposed to be my hand turkeys of Sniper and Geisha. And can I just say, I put an insane amount of detail into fucking both of those. And it was really, really fucking annoying. Because do you have any idea how many bandoliers with how many bullets Sniper has, because it's a lot. Okay.
Yes, I do.
It's a shit ton, and I drew every last one of those. And do you know how much hatching Geisha has? Because that's also a fuck ton, and I drew all of that. But I drew it in a hand turkey, so it's really garbage.
Whizgiz. I'm sorry, Whizgiz. Wiz, that's if you ordered Wart the Wizard for Mandy, then you get that free with it. So
I've been trying to get on Mindy's show. I can't get in contact with her.
Right now
I
she's
can't
in the
message
middle
her
of
on Twitter.
Yeah,
so.
right now she's in the middle of fulfilling. She hasn't really been on Twitter, so.
Well, I can't message her anyway.
Yeah, I'll reach out to her.
That'd be cool.
Shay, did you want me to share that?
Oh yeah.
Share what? What are you sharing?
Well, we're going to share something.
Oh, he's sharing something he drew.
Yeah. Sorry, I went pee. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's cool. It's cool. Is that working? Am I doing that shit right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at you.
Nice.
What are these?
I haven't gotten into any of the interesting parts yet.
I mean, I'm already interested.
Are you like me? Do you have to do it in order? Do you have to do the pages in order? I'm that way. I have to do it in order.
I do, partially because I don't know where I'm going. I have a vague idea where I'm going. And I don't know how many pages it'll take up if I don't know the layout of each page. So I'm kind of going page by page. I've written up to like page 9.
Nice.
That's cool. Have you watched Dan's streams about how he explains doing panels and speeding through the story? Have you watched a couple of his last couple streams?
I'm not sure. It's been a really weird week or so. I may have. I don't remember.
Well, the last couple of streams he's given with what you just said versus what he likes, because he's done storyboarding for so long. He's essentially a professional storyboarder. So,
Wolverine, do you have a link for that project or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Like I said, my art kind of broke about 15 or so years ago after some bad shit in the tabletop RPG publishing community, and I'm just now trying to get my drawing hand back. So okay. I need to get at least enough of this done to prove to myself that I can make myself draw again.
Nice. Well, like, I gotta say, if that's what you're doing, I think it's going well.
It looks good.
I live by Fraga's motto of draw every day, even if it's 20 minutes or an hour or 5 every day.
Yeah. Before everything broke, I could not physically go more than 30 minutes without drawing. I start getting shakes. Yeah. And now trying to force it to come back is an interesting challenge. I've done it many times over the past like 15 or so years. This is the only time it worked. And the first thing I ever wanted to be in life was a comic book penciler, up until about 93. And then the 90s forced me away from comics because I hated the 90s. And I did other shit. But the idea, the whole Comicsgate thing, the idea that I could give this a shot again without having all the shit that chased me away there, just me. And it's the first time I picked up a pencil in all that time for more than 2 seconds without getting physically ill, and I just kept going. So this is the only thing that brought it back, and I'm really appreciative of that.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Very similar. When I was a kid, I wanted to be. I started drawing, and when I was a kid, I wanted to be a comic book artist. But then I also started playing musical instruments, and and right around high school, music kind of surpassed art. From like age 17 to about 32, I chased the dream, you know what I mean? And it didn't pan out, shit happens. But and within that, I got stories.
Oh, so do I. I was an apprentice to an artist in Orlando. It was a good time.
Yeah, no,
So,
I
yeah,
mean, like,
I got stories too.
I've got like after party stories from like gigs and stuff, and
man.
Yeah.
Oh,
I lived the rock and roll lifestyle. I just didn't get paid like one. So,
Shit.
Yeah. So right around the end of the '90s, beginning, like I think the last comic I actually bought was like 2001, 2002. And it wasn't until Comicsgate came that like I got back into just comics in general. And most people know me. If you remember my old account, you'd probably see me around since like the beginning, but that account got nuked. In fact, well, I don't care. Midnight Images was my old Twitter account. So if you saw Midnight Images floating around back in the early days, that was me. Most people, like even going into Dark Gifts, most people knew me as like a supporter, promoter, backer, and musician. No one really knew me as an artist. So that's why, like, when I was able to, like, I got to know Mandy. She gave me the opportunity to do the Ashcan, but it wasn't really my style. And now I've got the itch to do more. So I wanted something to put, I wanted people to see my like real style. So that's why I did the art book, and I did it through Lulu. It was like I said, once you upload it, you just share the link, and it's been selling pretty well. I put it up in the beginning of May, and I've got like 45 sales so far.
A friend of mine's an author, and I think he went through Lulu, and I don't remember him ever having anything bad to say about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know people who've done Lulu for a lot of things, like coloring books and stuff for kids, and they've all really enjoyed it. What I was going to say, Dark Gift, is hit me up in DM, because I think I might have a potential project for you coming 2021. So it's not super soon, but I really want to find really interesting artists, and Jason, you're one of them for sure as well.
Is it have anything to do with that DM that you sent me a while back?
Probably. Well, no. So there's that, which is for merch and stuff, which is awesome. But
no.
Entirely separate.
You asked my critique. You asked my critique on something.
The horror Ashcan, yeah, it's more for that stuff.
Okay, yeah. You asked me. You wrote something basically, and you sent it to me and asked me about the concepts.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be down. I'd be down for that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Sweet. So my idea for anyone who hasn't been paying attention to Red Valkyrie, or that I've been too drunk to actually promote this shit, because I'm gonna be honest, I've got like a 10th of a book right now, so I don't really have a product. I have a couple of poems and a few ideas of short stories that I haven't fleshed out, but I've got two really, really big things that I'm kind of thinking of. I want to do an anthology that's really dark, kind of like Edgar Allan Poe, right? So when you go and pick up an Edgar Allan Poe anthology, you've got a lot of shit like The Ravens, The Bells, The Telltale Heart, things like that. So I'm trying to collect a bunch of these nightmares that I've had. I'm working with Luke on one. I've got a couple of poems, and I really want, if you are into kind of gnarly, visceral, badass fucking art that you can put a horror spin on, like, hit my ass up, because I want to take my writing, I want to give it to artists, and I have a couple of things that I have a very specific vision for, and I have a shit ton of stuff that I have no idea what I want. But basically, I've written poems, I've written short stories, and I want to have somebody read it, and I want to have them create what they see as an illustration for it, and I want to put it all together in a collection of this kind of shit. And then I have, on the other side of that, I've got this series that I want to call No Name, that is all about mental health issues with characters that people wouldn't normally think about. So the first one that I'm doing is Fade, and it deals with a 9-year-old who suffers from depression and suicidal ideation. Because it's uncomfortable and it makes people feel nervous and not within their like realm of acceptability, and that's the perfect place for this story to be. So
yeah.
Those are two things I'm looking at. So if you're into horror and really fucking badass art, hit me up in DMs. It'll be a while before any of this is coming out, but come 2021, I want to be able to launch. So
speaking of writing,
yes,
I mean, I got a lot on my plate right now. So I just put the art book out. I'm doing a pinup for Ben Foussier, Outlaw Nights.
Yep.
I'm doing the cover for Rosetta for her photo book, and I've got a list. And then I've got a couple of like personal things, like a couple of personal friends are starting a business. They want me to do their logo and stuff like that. And I'm also writing music for trailers. Like I did the, do you know Lakeem Amir? Have you seen him around Twitter?
I have, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm friends with him. Yeah, he's good peeps.
Yeah.
That's my homie.
He's like one of the only people in Comic State that actually has my phone number because I wrote the theme song for his trailer for when he launches his book.
Yes, his book's looking good.
Yeah. He wanted and it was like, I've been doing a lot of acoustic stuff the last few years. So he was like, I want and he heard me play. He was like, dude, he's like, I think you'd do good. He's like, I want like a Johnny Cash style. He actually just had me premiere it the other night, so I could actually share it if you guys want to hear it. Nah, that's all right. We don't have to do that. But yeah, so I did his theme song, and then for Lazmat for his Road Warrior Drake book, Purple Smurf 13 wrote the theme song, but I did all the guitar work on it. So I'm doing stuff like that. So I've got a lot on my plate, and I'm trying to plan my own thing that I want to launch at the end of the year.
Right.
So what I'm thinking of doing too is because it's going to be like a 48-page graphic novel. Some of the character concepts it's like werewolves, vampires, that kind of stuff. Some of the character concepts are in my art book. Something I've been thinking about a long time. What I might do is I might take the first 15 pages and do like a little mini digest-sized preview ash can and do that on Lulu as a preview ash can to get people, and just put that out there while I'm working on it. So when I launch, I'll do the IGG then. But that was a very long way of getting back to for writers. I've had this idea since last year for my channel, and then the ash can came, and then real life shit happened, and I never got around to it. And I've already got 4 writers because when it comes to YouTube, it's real easy to spotlight artists, right? You can turn your camera around and just draw on camera and stuff like that. Musicians, I could pick up my guitar and start playing, but it's really hard for like a writer to spotlight themselves on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to show my age here. I don't know how old everybody else is. I know you said you were 48, Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you might remember this. Jay, I don't know how old you are. Luke, I don't know how old you are. Jay Money, you seem a little younger.
I'm 38. 38.
Yeah, so you might not remember
37.
this. Back in the late 70s, early 80s on PBS, there was a show called The Bookbird, and it later became Cover to Cover. And if you look it up, it was basically this guy, and he set up the story. They usually read a story like Peter Rabbit or some shit like that. It was a kid's show.
Is that the guy that would draw this a scene in the story as he read it?
As the narrator would read it, right?
Oh, damn, he was so good.
Yeah, and he did a lot of charcoals and pastels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of doing.
I'd forgotten what that was called. Thank you.
Yeah, he had a mustache, like the little part, like the old '80s style part on the side of his hair. Right?
Yeah. Almost looked like Barney Miller, kind of.
Yeah. Definitely like a skinny Barney Miller. Absolutely. So I was thinking of doing I was going to call it Cover to Cover Redux. And basically get writers. I already got 4 writers. They sent me the stories. They got to be about 15 to, if they're narrated, 15 to 20 minutes long. Yeah. And get people, and you can read it yourself if you think you got what it takes to express the actual story. Or I have people who are really good, like Red Gaze might do a voiceover for me. Chris Knight from the Fandom Menace might
get Tommy Mark to do a voiceover.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
Tommy Mark is the best voice.
Come on, isn't it?
That's a really good angle, though. I like that. That's a great angle.
It's more about the cadence, isn't it? The way he did this stuff, and just be completely blunt about things like, "I've got to leave the stream. Bye." He's fucking great. I love that.
Yeah, but I mean, the great thing is, I'm also part of the Fandom Menace, so I got a lot of friends over there who are like into voice acting and stuff like that. So I've got a lot of people who could do it, but like I also have people who are willing to read their own. And basically, what I would do is you would narrate, or somebody would narrate the story. I would then take the story, record myself drawing, and then like edit it down like they did for the show, and then put it for like a 15-minute video.
Hell yeah!
And then so this way the writer gets spotlighted for their story. I can showcase my art a little bit. If somebody else is doing the voiceover and they're looking to be a voice actor or something, they could spotlight themselves. And then
collaboration.
I was even thinking of like doing the music myself, so like I can like spotlight my music. And then I was thinking of at one point, if it like picks up and it starts to become like a decent, like I get like a decent following, and I want to put it out more than like once a month or once every twice a month, get other artists to do it if they were interested. So then it's not just my art being. At first it would just be me. I want to really focus on the writers, but then if I could help some other artists,
Right.
So if you think you got any stories like that, we can talk about that too. Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I'm down. I'm super down.
Yeah. I want to start doing that before the end of the year too. So
awesome. That's so cool. And I mean, that's one of the reasons that I started writing prose, is because it's really easy to showcase artists, right? Because artists draw pretty pictures. Pretty pictures are fun to see and watch.
Mm-hmm. That was my thinking. Fruition.
Yeah. Nobody wants to watch a stream with a writer who is brainstorming in their head and then furiously typing on a keyboard. Like, that's not entertaining at all.
Have you ever gone over to one of the Anti's like little writing workshop streams? They're the most boring things ever.
No, because
they're the most
I
boring
like
things
myself.
Ever.
A lot of their streams are the most boring thing ever.
That's why I kind of figured if you're giving the audience something to watch while they're listening to the story.
Right. Well, and so the big reason that we did writing prose is because, gosh dang it, Jason. Motherfucker, so good. Just so good.
Everyone's gonna like this one. I did this for Inktober. The word was shy.
Nice, brother.
You're like frustratingly good. I just want you to know that. You make me want to say, fuck it, I'm never drawing again. And then simultaneously, fuck it, I'm drawing every day.
Yes, that's what I want.
You got me on both sides, so I hit both of them, and when I'm drunk, I hit both of them in rapid succession.
Draw every day and go back absolute now in Indiegogo.
Yes, everyone, please go back absolute. Seriously, his shit is amazing. He does. Look, he made me. He immortalized me. Come on, he made me a fucking. Like, her boobs are.
Oh, his campaign is added to my save list, and so is that other gentleman. What was his name? Jason Krager.
Yeah. For Hammer. Oh, sorry, wrong. There we go. I'm a little drunk, guys.
This is we're over here. John Wayne Gacy's skull on this side right here.
Oh, sweet.
My gosh, you were annoyingly good.
What do you use for colors on that?
This was Dr. P.H. Martin watercolors.
Watercolor. I love watercolors, man. I got to
start liquid watercolor.
Watercolor. Yeah. I got to start doing it. I mean, I would do it old school. With the brush? You use a brush?
Oh, yeah. I use toothbrushes, brushes, like any nibs. I use
splatter effect with the toothbrush.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so much fun.
I haven't watercolored.
Because there's always a chance you might fuck it up, but that's half the fun, the risk,
Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't done any watercolor since like my early 20s. I want to start doing it.
I desperately want to do watercolors, but I feel like I'm too rigid.
Everyone in the chat, I don't have the chat up, but I'm not ignoring you on purpose. I'm just blind, so it's no good.
And when Paul says that, he's not being facetious. Like, he's legit blind in an eye. So that's why his little signature is a one-eyed dude, is because he's basically blind in the other eye.
Yeah,
so I'm just saying, like, the fact that his art is so fucking amazing, and then you add on the fact that he's got one good eye. That's insane. What the fuck?
You fatter me, I'm fatter.
Sir, you stop waving me away. It's my channel. I will gush all I want to.
I'll even point out what Shay might not even know. those artists of us with only one eye effectively have no depth perception, and so
Yes.
Brushes are a pain.
Drawing or painting anything that conveys depth is really a fucking chore, because our brains are triangulating everything on a flat plane all the time.
Yeah.
See, look, I draw a lot of crap too. This is garbage.
Is this garbage? Really? This is your garbage? Hold on.
Tim Burton would put that on any movie screen.
Do you save your your unfinished stuff and throw it to the side? Like, maybe I'll use that later.
Well, maybe because I might draw on the back of it and it might turn out to be really good. So.
Do you know how frustrating that is? I'm over here like desperately trying to draw one thing that looks even kind of like what I'm thinking, and you're over here like, this is shit. And I'm like, that would be amazing if I drew it.
But I've been drawing almost my whole life, so I mean, I kind of got the advantage.
I've been drawing for a while.
So this is
well, that's up.
Character concept for my graphic novel.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh, that shit that's on. I don't know. The one that's the face. Cool. I don't want to say direction because I'm that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck
Same
yes.
character. Yeah, same character. She's a witch.
No, but I love how you did the half of the like. I'm such a sucker for gimmicks. I can't.
And then these are my werewolf characters.
Oh shit! Again, on the other side, I really like that.
Oh, wait, I can't figure out which way to go. That way. There we go.
Yeah. It's great. Oh my gosh.
They're both.
Wait,
really
is
awesome.
all of this in your book that I linked earlier?
Yes, this is the art book. Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, Dark Gift. I have limited funds. Why you gotta make me want to spend more?
It's only $14. I would have made it cheaper, but Lulu kind of I went full color, so Lulu makes you kind of have a minimum amount that you got to charge, so they make their money, I guess. You know.
I could draw cute things too. See, adorable, so adorable. Look at that.
Tiny URL.
Nope, you're done. Nope, actually, you don't get to see it.
Actually, if you want a discount, I can.
Oh.
If you want a discount.
Yes.
You can,
as I'm currently checking out. Yes. What discount?
Well, what you call it? What I would suggest is you could PayPal me because I get it cheaper if I order it.
How much would I have to PayPal you, sir?
I forget what the shipping is.
You could PayPal me.
Basically, like I'll put it this way.
I'm not PayPaling you for drugs.
I think it's $14.66, and then with the shipping, it comes to like $18-19. If you just shoot me the 14, that should be good. So it'd be like a $5 discount.
Ooh, I'll do a $5 discount.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm really excited about this shit because I don't need more shit, but I want more shit. More shit is fun.
The collector's.
You know what's gonna happen?
Look,
You're
okay,
gonna need it, but I want it.
You guys have no idea, okay? I found fucking Gear Station 1/2 in the UK, and I paid triple the shipping than what I'm paying for the fucking comic, okay?
Jesus.
Because I want the 1/2 and it's a foil print, motherfuckers. I'm getting that shit, and it has a certificate.
And then dynamic forces.
I could either ship it directly to you, or I could have it shipped here. I could sign it and then send it to you.
Ooh, there you go.
Yep. Things are happening now, Dark Gift.
Jason, that was an awesome Calvin and Hobbes, though, dude.
It was good.
Saw that. That was fucking dope.
That was good. Yeah.
Thank you. Another Inktober piece.
Guys, I just want you to know.
My background, I was singing along with Doom, was a Inktober piece.
Shay, is that all 6?
That's all 6.
Awesome.
There's
Okay.
Jello, but I'm not breaking into that because.
There's Balloon Head. Balloon Head.
What is this?
There's Balloon Head.
That's cool. I like that.
I kind of want to hug him.
You know what that reminds me of? Who is that poet? The black poet from the 80s. He had that book. Oh God! And it was illustrated like in that style. Oh, what the hell is his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's gonna drive me nuts.
I don't know.
I know.
It will wake you up at 3 in the morning.
I know. 3 in the morning, I'm going to wake up and DM all you motherfuckers.
This is your last.
One other male artist that is in existence. You know that one guy.
This one is on the back of this. The one I just did.
I know, but it's so frustrating that you're just like, this other one's shit, and so
this one it was on the back of this, which is just scrap crap. So
whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. I'm drunk. All of my like polite filters are gone. Okay. I drank a 6-pack of Red's apple cider. Who let me do that? I'm blaming J Money.
I accept this blame.
I volunteer him as tribute.
Good man. Good man.
To be fair, J Money was like, "Go get the other 2, Shay. It'll be fine."
Guess what, Jay?
It wasn't fine. I almost fell over trying to go pee.
It's been a while.
That cider will sneak up on you because it tastes so sweet and you don't notice the alcohol. And all of a sudden, you know, the earth is tilting this way and you're like, why the fuck?
4 of these, nothing. Halfway through 5, completely fucking wasted.
What is the brand?
Halfway through 5, holy fuck.
What's the brand? What is the brand?
Reds.
Reds.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever had that.
Although I appreciate that you actually had to go full Irish just to say any of that shit.
Oh no, this is fucking Scottish. You know, I'm so drunk right now. I could probably just keep talking like this for the next 3 days. You know,
Until I made fun of him enough that I made him stop. But yes.
Did you?
I don't know. I've seen Luke go a little crazy towards the end.
No, see, what you don't understand is, you know, I did an Irish accent for 3 weeks while I was talking to this girl here. See, I went out with a buddy of mine, and we were in, you know, what you would call a pub, in O'Malley's here, and he said, "Bet you can't keep that up the entire evening." I said, "Fuck you, I can't." So I kept it up the entire evening. We went pub crawling. End up at a place called Al's Pizza. So I'm doing the accent and being a complete prick, yeah. So the waitress gives me her number on a fucking ticket as we're leaving. So I go out with her 3 times, 3 different occasions for like 3 weeks. And then on the 4th time, I was like, I've got something to tell you. I'm not Irish. She fucking slugs me in the arm and fucking storms off. I hang out with her at night, never hear from her again.
Well, she wanted.
Although in about a week she's going to meet you.
And just an
you were
hour,
obviously grooming her.
And just an hour ago, we were talking about being yourself.
Listen, you have no idea how much beer I won because he's like, dude, just keep going. I was like, all right, fuck you, I'll just keep going.
I have the best story ever. Okay, so when I was stationed in England, right? I had a British guy who was about to go TDY, so for temporary duty for a couple of weeks to America. And he's like, Shay, how do I get American women? And I said, dude, talk. And he went, what? And I was like, legit, say anything. You have a British accent. That's all it's going to take. Okay. Dude's married with a kid and he doesn't believe me. And he's not actually trying to pick up women. He was saying it for all of the single lads that were around. So he goes to America, right? He comes back and everyone went, so how was it? And he goes, guys, talk. And they went, you're out of your fucking mind. He goes, by the end of my trip, I was livid. I couldn't get a fucking beer because every time I tried to order a beer, the bartender chick would call her 5 friends over and make me say it again and again because of my accent. And I was like, can I get a fucking beer, mate? And none of them believe me until they would go TDY one by one. They come back and they go, seriously, guys, just talk. That's all it takes to get an American woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so sad but true.
I'm with Gabe in the chat.
Oh my god.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to Gabe. Like, that's my homie, like, here in town. Like, he's a regular at the comic shop I work in. Like,
hi, Gabe.
Gabe's a dude. That's my homie.
It's pretty dope. Have y'all been able to stay open during all of this?
Yeah, she closed for a while, and she's reopened, and I'm there on Saturdays. It's slower than it was, but the wall. Cool. I've never seen the wall so anemic, but people still come in and pick up books, man. I still get to talk comics with my regulars. It's fucking great.
That's good.
Cool. Yeah, man. But yeah, Gabe's a homie.
I just want to give you a little credit on your Irish accent.
Oh yeah.
The use of the word ticket instead of check was nice attention to detail.
I appreciate it, man. I work downtown in the tourist area, so I would hear a bunch of people from all over the world come in, and I would pick up on different dialects and accents, and I fucking love it. And I would listen, I'd watch Guy Ritchie films, so how them sausages coming, Charlie? 2 minutes, Turkish. My dad and I would like fucking quote Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch to each other, So just playing around with accents was always fun. And working downtown in a tourist area, I get fucking bored. So I'd throw in a British accent and I'd just pretend that I was British working in an American shop. And tourists would come in and it'd be all fine and dandy until a British couple would walk in the fucking door. So I've got to keep up this British accent and hope to fucking Christ that these people are not going to pick up on the fact that I'm an American doing a piss poor fucking British accent. And these people actually ask me, "Oh, so where are you from?" "From Clevedon." It's just like west of London. Now, luckily, I had a British foreign exchange student friend like in high school, so I was like using some of the shit that she told me, but like this is the shit I would do for fun, downtown. But yeah, I would keep it up. Yeah, just to entertain myself because what are you gonna do when you're working in a tourist trap?
You're on a place that they're not gonna question because it's in the middle of fucking farmland. You're from Lincolnshire.
Lincolnshire. There you
Lincolnshire is where I lived for 3 years. There ain't shit there, okay? Like I legit at one point I had a mouse problem, and when I contacted the realtor, they went, "What do you expect? You live out in farmland?" And I was like, "Is that your fucking answer? This is the wrong answer." Their extermination policy was don't live in farmland. It's great.
But yeah, that's what I did to entertain myself down there. So yeah, that's why I like accents, dialects.
All right, y'all. It has been 3.5 hours of this ridiculous shit, and I love you guys so much. It's 2 a.m. where I am, and I'm probably go to bed. Nothing can happen in the morning, right?
Well, it's been 3.5 very lovely hours.
I'm gonna be honest. I was super fucking pissed when we started this because how dare they with my boy Fraga? What are you doing?
That remains some bullshit.
Seriously.
Horrible. So, for posterity's sake, if you have not, and if you haven't, I'm gonna have to punch. You have not already subbed to Dan's backup channel.
Do that shit.
There it is right now in the channel. Go sub right fucking now.
Smang it.
Mang that shit.
Fraga motherfucking boom.
AAT. All right, this shit needs to happen because Fraga, bomb ass insane, super awesome dude, and at no point in time does YouTube have any fucking leg to stand on for doing the shit they did to him. That's bullshit. I luck out because they don't pay me anything, so they didn't consider me a threat, thankfully. But please go sub to Fraga. Let's get his numbers back up. I'm sure he's going to get his Couch account back, but in case he doesn't, let's make sure that we have a backup for him. While you're at it, if you feel so inclined, please feel free to sub to Red Valkyrie. We're getting ever closer to our 1K, and at our 1K, I'm actually trying to convince Dan to do a special print piece for me that I will then give away prints of during a live stream. So I don't know that it'll work out because Dan is an extremely busy man, but I'm trying to sweet talk him and or get his wife to guilt him. Either way, I'm not above this. It's fine either way for me. But we're definitely gonna have some really cool giveaways. I've got some cool people I'm trying to get in on some stuff. So we'll see what happens. But please sub to Red Valkyrie. We'll go around the room. Everyone go ahead and say where people can find you. J Money, go first.
I'm on Twitter at J_money_is_here, which is terrible, but maybe one day I'll fix it.
That show is terrible.
But everybody knows me. I talk shit to certain people, and I enjoy it. And people get laughs, and some people get angry.
Nice. So real quick before I go to Wolverine, I just gotta say, Wise Guy said we got Fraga's alternate channel at the 675. I'm both very happy and a little bit peeved because I've been at this since November.
Can I tell you how stupid I am? This whole time, all this time, and I've seen him around. I've always thought it was Whizgiz.
Wise guy.
Wise guy.
Here's the thing. Depending on who
I've
you
been on
talk
his channel. He's good.
Carla calls him Whizgiz. I call him Wise Guys because that makes more sense to me.
That totally makes more sense.
One day I'm sure that he will correct one of us. But until then, he's Wise Guys. And if he is Whizgiz, I'm going to have a very long conversation about how it should be Wise Guys to me. Anyway, Wolverine, by all means, take it away, sir.
I'm basically nobody. I'm on Twitter at WOLV0RINE. Every once in a while, I play games on Twitch and it gets thrown up on Twitter. It doesn't happen often anymore.
It just stop. It doesn't happen very often anymore. And talk.
I got distracted with other shit, like trying to draw a comic.
Oh, I thought you were getting distracted by the cat that is demanding attention from Death Metal Hero over there.
I had to force my cat on the street.
Go ahead, Suki.
You can find me at Death Metal Hero. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I've got old interviews on my YouTube channel from back in 2007. If you want to see a baby me and a baby EVS, it's funny.
You do. You do want to see them.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, I also host the Sing Along of Doom, where I take requests. If I have it on my phone, I'll scream it out for you. But mostly it's just me doing my vocal practice. Huh?
Even if it's not a Screamo song.
Even if it's not a Screamo song. Oh, I'll make it a Screamo song. Yes. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Always got to. But yeah.
By the way, for anyone wondering, it is Wise Guys, so I am right. All of you say
it's phonetic. It's phonetics. Come on, y'all. It's phonetics.
At least most people don't say wise jizz.
I feel like you said Wise Jizz. There's something wrong with you, considering the way it's spelled. It should be the same sound. All right, Dark Gift, you're up.
Yeah, I'm Dark Gift Comics Presents on YouTube and Dark Gift Comics on Twitter and Instagram. And I talk comics and music, and I play my guitar a lot, so, you know.
Your guitar very well.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate you playing your guitar so I can listen and be like, yeah, I have one of those. I don't do that, though. I look at it and go, oh, that's a guitar.
And my art book, Shay shared the link to my art book. That's in the chat. Definitely go pick that up if you liked what I was showing. So that'd be cool.
Art book. All right, I'm drunk, so I have to say things. There you go. Art book.
Yeah, apparently they do say wise jizz.
Why did they say wise jizz?
Because people don't know how letters work anymore, woman.
It is obviously Wise Guys if you are phonetically inclined whatsoever.
It could be Whizgiz.
It is not Whizgiz. It is Wise Guys.
I understand that now, but it could be.
Okay. Anyone else calls you Whizgiz, you send them to Shay. I'll set them straight, damn it. Jason, a.k.a. Fuck iPad. Up to you, sir.
Yeah, that's not my name. You can find me on the Twitters, Unhinged Ent. Also YouTube, Unhinged Entertainment, or on Indiegogo. Absolute. Unhinged Entertainment presents Absolute.
And please
for the love of all that is holy, going back this shit, because Jason does absolutely beautiful art, and I swear to you all, if 14 days passes and I don't get my fucking book because you didn't back, I'm gonna find you all. Be very, very angry.
So go take a look at his stuff, and if you like it, put a ring on it.
His shit is amazing.
Thank
okay,
you.
going
Yep.
back. If you don't
Got
like
it.
it, go to a doctor and make sure you don't have a brain tumor, because there might be something wrong with you.
Well, I hope you don't have a brain tumor either way. So that's just horrible.
I'm just saying, like, just go get checked. Something might be wrong. Obviously, I am Shay the Red, formerly Shay Zombie, if you didn't know. Love all of you guys for hanging out with us. I'm kind of sad that this is the most views that I've had consistently.
Well, he'll
Well,
the
you
chat.
gained-
He'll the chat.
You gained
Hell
12 or
yeah.
13
Hell
backers as
fuck
well.
that.
But we are getting ever closer to our 1K subs, and we are marching along to our 4,000 watch hours. And without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do the shit I do. So please, sub to Red Valkyrie. Check us out. We got Hammer on. Tomorrow, I've got Black and White. The next day, I've got a couple other really, really awesome projects that are on that you probably haven't heard about. So please, sub to the channel, hit the bell, and we will catch you all next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on Red Valkyrie, and we will check you all later. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.